Angry Old Dudes, episode 18. I'm Brandon.
I'm Q.
I'm Dillon.
I'm Jacob.
And let's do the schedule.
And obviously we have Juggernaut, or 2/6 or 2/5. How many of there are you?
2/6.
2/6.
1/3.
One third
If
of
we simplify it
Juggernaut.
down mathematically, we got 1/3 of the band here.
I think we should add people to your band and make it like 4/12.
Well, we could just do that without having.
It's the same fucking proportion.
It's the same proportion, but you would have more people and even more people than Slipknot. So.
We would have 12/48. We have 12/48 of the band here, actually, now that I think about it.
All right.
It's getting ridiculous
This is
already.
really ridiculous.
Saturday.
Oh, speaking of which, I need a flyer made tonight.
Great. Tonight? Fuck you. The next weekend, Saturday, November 28th, that's the Misfits at the Thompson House.
Yep.
I got it right this
It's
time.
at the
All right.
Thompson House.
Also that night, the Queers and the Dopamines at...
The Northside Yacht Club.
Yes, and Reliant K at Bogart's. Nobody's going to that at all.
Plenty of Jesus Pop Punk kids will go to that.
It should have been at the Underground. They would have had a better turnout.
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know if Reliant K claims that they're a Christian band anymore, though.
I don't know. The most interesting thing about Reliant K is that the original bass player started Inhale Exhale. And I know you hate them, but they're dope, so fuck you.
I mean, I like the first two Reliant K records.
No, Inhale Exhale. Not
No,
Reliant
I don't
K.
like anything by
Okay.
Inhale Exhale.
Anyway, Thursday, December 3rd, that's August Burns Red, Every Time I Die, Stick to Your Guns, Polyphia, and Wage War. You will find me at that show.
There's also Incited, Head Rush, Mind Flare, and probably Street Rat at RDK
Street Rat.
Where was that first show?
at Bogart's.
All right. Sick. That sounds fun.
It's $42.
All right. Sounds a little less fun now.
That is a confirmed price.
I haven't been to like a real big show in forever, so I think I can handle that.
I mean, that's cool. I'm just saying there's a lot of people that can't handle $42 for that.
Yeah.
If that show was 22, then I would understand.
You wouldn't go anyway. You have your own.
Yeah, but I mean, I might be able to do my show as like a matinee and go after, or a late night and go before.
Gotcha. Saturday, December 5th, talk about that.
That is the Heavy Music Showcase featuring Grim State with Nate Spicer's last show. Also playing is Crewneck, Hunter's Chase, Hearts Like Shadows, Eternal Void, Dead Set, Homebound's first show, and Planetary Cataclysm. Thanks for that cheat sheet.
Yep.
That's $5 and starts about 6 p.m.
Yeah. Let's see. Friday, December 11th. That is Hunter's Chase, Underestimate, Planetary Cataclysm, Hearts Like Shadows, and Two Punch Gun at
The backstage for $8. Pre-sale 10 at the door. I'm not sure.
no idea. The following day is the RDK Sound Design store opening. December 12th. I have no idea what time.
Noon.
Great. I will be there.
It'll be at noon. I will be there as well. I also have heard today confirmed Bootsy Collins will be there.
That is fucking dope.
Oh, shit.
And then later on in that day, me and the boys from EV will be going to Columbus to see To the Wind.
Dope. Next day, Sunday, December 13th. This is relatively news. Battlecross, Havoc, Necro, Goblicon, Jesus, Blackfast, and Letters to the Blind.
At Rockstar Pro.
The last time Battlecross came up here, it was actually a pretty packed show. So,
Yeah. And actually the last time, I believe Havoc has played the Rockstar before.
wouldn't know.
You would like Havoc.
Would I?
Yeah, there's just straight thrash.
When you say straight thrash.
Like Killing Session, but mature.
Okay. I might like that. Okay. Okay. If you have to draw a triangle with the Waste, Extinction AD, and like Skeleton Witch, which side do they fall closer to?
They're closer to. They're on the line between Extinction AD and Skeleton Witch.
Then that's debatable. We'll see.
They're not as hardcore as The Waste.
Let's see.
That was a really weird thrash triangle.
Well, I mean,
I'm used to like Anthrax, Slayer, and Megadeth or something.
Well,
Not that Megadeth's thrash, but
old thrash.
yeah.
Point is, I like The Waste. I like Extinction AD, but they're not the same thing.
True.
And I hate Skeleton Witch.
You hate Skeleton
They're
Witch?
awful.
Oh, Beyond the Permafrost is one of the greatest metal
The
records
vocal
ever.
is abysmal.
Whatever.
You're only as good as your vocalist.
Yeah.
And that's why most bands suck.
Yeah. You just
That's
don't.
why we are twice as good.
What? Wait, I don't get it.
That's why I don't like
Neither
Van
of you
Halen.
is your weakest link. It's true.
Oh, that's funny.
If you cut out Drew's tongue, you might be a little stronger.
Moving on. All right.
I hope Drew fights me after this episode.
Shut up. Tuesday, December 15th. That's Silverstein Census Fail 100th and Capsize at Bogarts. That show doesn't make any sense.
Sure it does.
Sure it
Really?
does.
Really?
Why not?
A couple of Screamo bands and a
Two
couple.
Screamo bands and two what these kids consider melodic hardcore.
Hey, talking shit.
Yeah, you guys are kids. That's me talking shit.
Friday, December 18th. That's the Academy is at Bogarts.
Nobody cares. Why do we keep talking about it?
Because it's news, fucker.
It's
One
not
of the
news.
12 people who listen to this might give a shit about the Academy is.
Then I don't want them listening to this.
Yeah, that's not, you can't, that's not fair. You can't do that. Also that day is Santa Mania, and I don't know what that is, so please explain.
It's John Hayes's local music fest. It's usually $5. It's at the Northside Yacht Club and Legends this year. And it's just basically every local punk hardcore noise band.
Are they hardcore punk noise, or are they commas?
Hardcore bands, punk bands, noise
I was
bands.
gonna say, because if you mix all those together, that sounds dreadful.
Yeah. And they're not all local, actually. I forget. There's Massachusetts. It's basically like the winter version of like Last House Fest. Just like whoever needs a show and wants to come play. And it's usually a pretty good time.
Fucking dickhead.
Don't worry. Last week we'd be talking and you just hear Chris's little fucking vapor just loud as shit right in the mic too. So yeah. Let's see. Saturday, December 19th. That's the Ugly Sweater Party at the 86. That's Glass World. My band We Are As Ronin, 7 Years Dead, and The Color of Amber. I have tickets if you want to come get one from me. They are $8.
Also, not to battle with yours, but the Isaac's Battle of the Bands at Rockstar is also that day.
Yeah, I don't.
Featuring a bunch of bands that don't matter and Hunter's Chase who thinks too highly of themselves.
All right.
That's a direct quote from Juggernaut.
Wednesday, December 30th. That's Martial Law, By Force, Push Off, and Outsider at the Northside House. Does anybody know the addresses of these places? Or
Yeah,
is it just
but house shows you can't really. If you actually want to know, hit me up on Facebook, Cubert Arsider.
okay?
Otherwise, you'll have the cops come.
Gotcha.
Because we do have 2 law officers that listen to our podcast. I found that out. We can talk about that later if you want.
Sure, why not? And then Saturday, January 9th. You want to talk about that real quick?
Go for it. Dylan.
Saturday, January 9th. We've got, what's it? Believe. They're a band. They're playing a show. Other bands are on it. My band's on it. I'll be there.
That was
January
My best
9th?
friend Jake.
That's not
will be there.
January 9th.
That's not January. That's this Saturday. All right, I'm going to talk about it.
Oops. I don't know why he let me talk about it. I don't
That was
do
dumb.
like shit.
He doesn't. He fucking ignores everything we ever say. I don't know why. Why are you in the band? All right. No.
Looks.
January 9th, Monarch is playing. We Are Is Ronin is playing.
Hello.
I'm drawing a blank.
Eternal Void.
Yep, Eternal Void is playing.
Is Dead Friends playing?
Dead Friends is playing. We are playing. It's our EP release show. So.
And also Mailman is playing.
Oh yeah, Mailman. God, I can't wait for that.
Looks exciting.
I literally zoomed in. Like, I don't think I could make it any bigger on my screen.
No,
you got your mic in the way. I couldn't see.
I'm so
Oh,
grumpy
okay.
with you guys that you didn't ask me to play.
Do you want to
Do
play?
you want to play?
Yes.
All right, we'll get you on there.
Q's also on it.
I'll open.
All right.
So that way Ronan and Dead Friends don't have to battle for who opens.
Whatevs. I've opened 2/3 of the shows I've ever played. I just don't care anymore.
No.
I mean, we created the Obnoxious Boot because I wanted something that I was totally okay with opening everything.
And it works.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'll let them know and stuff.
Is Jared booking that show? Okay.
God help us all.
It's all good.
He's going to be 3 hours late.
Yeah.
He's going to tell you to be there at noon and then show up at like 9.
That's
not
a
getting
lot
there
more
noon.
than 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brandon's not good with math, writing, education.
No, fuck you. No, I want to say he told us to show up at the one at like 4.
The one above tickets,
Yeah,
where
and then
load-in was 4 and he showed up at 7:45.
He rolled in at like 5:45.
No, it was definitely later than that.
And the doors were at like 6:30 or something stupid.
It was I think he rolled in 15 minutes after doors were supposed to be open.
And then nobody would let us in because he hadn't paid yet.
Pay the deposit. Yeah, that's fun.
On a show he probably lost his ass on.
Yeah, who else played that show? I don't even remember. Was there a touring band?
Yeah, like 3 of them.
There's 3 touring bands on that?
Yeah, I just don't know who they are.
Okay, well, we don't need to talk about it.
Well, now it's going to piss me off. So hang
Okay,
on.
well, we're through the schedule. So let's or no, we're not to that part yet.
It wasn't Tear Out the Heart, was it?
Yeah, it was.
Hey, we played.
I think they were on it. I don't think that it was.
I don't think they were the headliner, but they were like I think they were. I don't know. Usually when I talk about bands that are absolutely horrible, in my opinion, just in my opinion, Tear Out the Heart is at the top of that list.
I thought they were interesting.
I mean, they played less than their backtracks did.
Right. It
That's
was
true.
Famous Last Words and For All I Am. And It Lies Within was supposed to play and dropped.
Believe didn't play that show.
Believe dropped that as well.
Did 10 Seconds Too Late even play?
2 seconds.
2 seconds?
And no, I don't think so.
Sorry, 10 Seconds Too Late was a really good band.
Jade. No, I want to say,
Just You and 2 Punch. And then the tour package?
yeah.
That sounds right.
Yeah, that didn't go at all like planned. I just really like my flyer because I got the dude from the Crash Bandicoot on it.
Yeah, I never played that game.
You never played Crash Bandicoot?
No, I also never played Banjo-Kazooie, and I got a lot of fucking slack for that.
That's right. That was the old version. And then Hunter's Chase when they were called something else.
Oh, okay.
I knew there was another local. Close all my shit.
So what'd you do today?
I went to work.
Yeah.
That's really it.
Cool.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Did you listen to Dan Levitard? Because I did
No.
today, because he was on PTI today.
Oddly enough, I walked in and dude who normally plays it had Chiodos instead. So listen to
I got some
Chiodos.
Cheetos too.
Damn it. And then
Are you the comedic relief tonight?
just gonna be oblivious. It's great. Tell us about your
Here's-
next show.
Here's the real question, Dylan. Did you smoke before you came here?
A long while before I came here
Okay.
because I had to move into my
Because you don't look
grandparents
very
today.
blazed, but you seem kind of blazed.
I'm just
It's those
I'm in
flamin'
that-
hot crunchy Cheetos. It's really doing the blazing.
I'm in that pleasant kind of just haze where you're just kind of here, just talking about where I'm at now. But no, I had to move in with my grandparents today, and I was super bummed about that. So yeah, I smoked before I went. Sue me.
Brandon, well,
I'm good. I don't think the law is any help. Yeah, work. I don't feel like I did anything all day, but if you check like all the records and stuff that got changed, I did a shitload today. So
Okay.
I took apart a Mac Mini. I've never done that before. That was
I don't even know what a
fucking
Mac Mini
annoying.
is.
Okay, they basically condensed an entire computer into a box about that tall, about that big. So it's like a laptop without a screen or a keyboard, just crunched into a little
okay.
box. And they're really good for servers and hiding under desks and shit like that.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Cool.
No, work was fucking boring. I didn't do shit. I paid my rent.
Woo!
Yeah.
Sick.
But that's like nothing. I didn't do shit. What'd you do today?
I didn't do much. My parents came home today from Los Angeles. I picked them up and I got really mad on Facebook all day. We'll talk about later. I downloaded a new Star Wars game on my phone, which is kind of cool because it's an action RPG that is supposed to be bridging Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. And it's all canon. So that's cool.
See? He just coughs and he doesn't care how much editing I have to do later.
Don't care. Just delete it. Just erase it.
Yeah.
Just
erase
restart.
my cough from existence.
I don't think Waves make a plug-in for that.
Okay. What did I listen to today? I listened to the PTI.
I didn't ask, but
All right.
This is part of this segment, so I listened to PTI, which Dan Levitard was on today because Tony Kornheiser was out, and I listened to Champion and Gorilla Biscuits because those are the two covers Newhart covered last night at the show. They covered New Direction by Gorilla Biscuits
dope.
and Promises Kept by Champion, which made me today want to listen to that entire Gorilla Biscuits record start today and the entire Promises Kept record, Champion. And other than that, I mostly listened to my alarm clock keep going off for 7.5 hours today, and I didn't want to get out of bed because I felt like garbage.
Gotcha.
Your alarm clock went off for 7.5 hours.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Like straight?
I don't give up on me after a little bit.
It went off.
Dude, fucking come on.
It went off every 5 minutes for 7.5 hours. I just kept hitting snooze.
Oh God, hitting snooze. Okay, well that's probably different for you because normally when I set my alarm clock way away from me, like to get me out of my bed, but I've still done that before, so like it's not an unfamiliar thing for me for like to get up for an hour straight and like hitting the snooze button. I assume it was next to you.
It wasn't originally because it was on the charger across the room, but I eventually, in my being asleep stupor, put it closer to me so I could hit snooze, and then it still never even woke me up. I got up and I was like, "Oh, I wonder why my phone didn't wake me up," and I went to my phone and it was dead.
My boss bought me a helicopter alarm clock.
Does it
What
like
does it
fly
do?
away?
Are you okay? Is that why
You gotta chase it? Like,
Yeah. No, seriously.
Shit.
It's, you know those things where you pull the ripcord and then the little guy on the top spins and it flies away? It
fuck.
seriously has a motor in it, and then it spins this up and then it launches it across the room, and I have to find the helicopter and plug it back in for the alarm to stop going off.
It's one of those like ingenuity things that would just piss me off if I had it.
Yeah, I would take a hammer to that the second day.
Yeah. I tried like the puzzle alarm clock apps, but then Sleepy Me realized I could just force quit the app, so that doesn't work. Like I'd have to put a thumbtack like on the button. That's the only way that would wake me up.
Oof.
Dillon, you already told us that you moved in with your grandparents today. Did you listen to any cool music? Probably not, since you're scared they're going to find your pentagram.
I mean, the whole time I was packing up and shit, what was I listening to? The Wonder Years' newest album, because I was having a nice gloomy day.
It was very gloomy today.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's I like that a lot actually. It's a pretty nice album in my opinion.
Me and Brandon both like that record.
Quite a bit.
Jacob, how do you feel about that record?
Jacob probably does.
I didn't listen to it.
Jacob, do you listen to any pop punk?
Like when I'm with Dillon, but like, not really.
Dude, my favorite pop punk band's Another Untold Story.
Dude, same here. No, I mean,
comment.
I don't know, fucking Bowling for Soup, but like that's about the extent that goes, and that's not even like a modern thing. So I don't know.
Well, what did you listen to today?
Who me?
Yeah,
you.
you who was
What did you
speaking.
do?
Yeah.
And
Okay.
what
well,
did you listen to today?
well, I guess I went to class today.
You
So
guess.
I went to
Yes.
class.
Did you sleep through class like I slept through
A
my
little
own?
bit, yeah.
Okay.
The drive was scary for that reason alone. No, I went to class, and on the way up there, I listened to The Faceless. I've been
Which record?
Planetary Duality. Is that? I think that's it.
I don't know.
Planetary
There's only
Duality.
one of their records I listened to.
Talking to the wrong guy. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, no, I do this thing where like I discover. I don't listen to a whole lot of new music. I'll just go and my friends will tell me this band, and then I'll go and get their albums from way before and listen to it then. And I'll be like in 2015 listening to an album that came out forever ago.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I like
I
to
do that
think
all the
I'm
time.
doing cool things with that. But yeah, no, I've just been listening to The Faceless a lot. It's been a good time.
Mostly A Day to Remember. And then after Carlos left, because he was the one listening to it. And he always just like plays all their records, and that means that it plays old record. I fucking hate old record. It's terrible.
You don't like old records?
Dude, it's so fucking bad.
Whatever.
That's
He
like-
hates it because it's recorded like shit.
And I've heard half of those songs better.
Okay.
So it's really shitty to be like, oh, hey, it's that song I know, only like the vocals are abysmal and it sounds like it was recorded over there. And everybody accused me of ripping off of A Day to Remember because I used a different soundbite from the Boondock Saints. Clearly, nobody else has ever done that before.
Wait, you've seen the Boondock Saints? Fucking rip off.
Dude, you took a breath today? You fucking poser.
Right. Unoriginal.
This
twat.
guy's a phony.
And then I was working on something really complicated, so I was like, I'm gonna listen to something really complicated. I'm gonna try BT Bam again.
Which record?
Whatever the newest one is.
Okay.
Coma, some or another.
That's not very complicated.
When did they get tolerable?
I mean, I don't
And-
think their new stuff's tolerable because I think it sounds like a ripoff of the current Contortionist.
Rip off of A Day to
Just
Remember.
very prog.
Yeah, I don't know. Everybody was like, dude, BT Bam's like the greatest thing ever. And I put on Alaska, and I was like, yeah, shredding and terrible vocals.
I like
This
that
is-
record.
It's a mess.
I like it more now than when it came out, but I definitely like it more now than their new record that sounds like if Dream Theater was on drugs.
That's accurate. I can get down on that. So that covers all that. Let's get to our new favorite segment, Urban
Oh, yeah.
Dictionary
I
Word
forgot.
of the Day.
So do you already have one?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
While you were talking and I wasn't
Cool,
paying
go for
attention.
it. Well, you should have been making my flyer in that free time.
No. Today's Urban Dictionary Word of the Day. Of course, we hit the random button and see what happens. Art fag.
Nice.
Noun. An art student fully immersed in the art school culture, i.e. dressing in all black or the trendiest rummage sale attire, listening to music only played on college radio, and referring to obscure artists or writers constantly. Also, one who uses artistic to explain dubious decisions or behaviors. In context, that art fag welded a high heel to an umbrella and ran around the village all day in the rain. Art fag. Also, if I could make an amendment, I would say C Dap Kid.
Okay.
That'd be the hyperlink.
I thought artifacts were just hipsters.
Mostly. But
Yeah.
I don't know, man. You ever hung out with art school kids?
Yeah. I've like most girls that I dated from like 17 to 25 were all art school girls.
They're their own
How'd
breed.
that go?
I don't know.
Did they all have?
I made it through.
Do they all have turquoise hair and hairy armpits?
No,
Jesus
definitely not
Christ.
hairy armpits. I'll kill a girl if she tries to date me and doesn't shave her armpits.
Yeah.
Just shave your armpits. It's not a big deal, you know?
Turquoise
That's all
hair
we're
is
asking.
turquoise hair. I've dated a couple turquoise hair girls.
Yeah, and all they ever talk about is how the second half of Brand New's career is so great.
No, see, I said 17 to 24. There was no second half of Brand New's career at that
Well,
point.
you're fucking old, I know, but we're not talking about the 60s. We're talking about art fags now.
The 60s. Brandon, please. I'm trying to drink apple juice here, man.
I played an acoustic show, and I think Q was running sound, and I said something about, what the fuck did I say?
I don't know.
I
Did you play a
basically-
Brand New cover?
Yeah, actually.
Okay.
I always played Jude Law, and I changed it from English to Norwood. Tell all the Norwood boys you meet.
Okay.
And I dedicated to that shitty bitch. What the fuck did I say? Something about you hanging out with Moses. That we went to Bible school together when
Oh yeah.
when
yeah.
Moses was teaching it. Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, that's your go-to joke,
Yeah, you're old.
which is funny because you don't even believe in Moses.
I don't, but you do. Really, I'm just trying to piss you off. Like,
I
that's-
mean, you're not. I mean, like what pisses me off. Like when your opinion is the only opinion that matters. That's the only thing that you can do that pisses me off.
Look, as a human being, you have an ego as a human being, not a bad ego, but an ego as part of your subconscious. Naturally, you think your idea is the best idea until convinced otherwise.
I don't think any of my ideas are the best ideas.
Well, then
They're
you
just
have
my
serious
ideas.
self-conscious issues.
Okay, or maybe I'm just humble.
Yeah, no.
I think you can put
Humility is an invention of your ego.
up. Okay, well then I have an ego.
Yeah, exactly. Fucker. The
I-
same thing that makes you walk into shows, and when somebody goes, "Hey man, $5," and you just give them a dirty look and walk past them. Yeah, that's your ego. Everybody has an ego.
I don't do that.
Fuck you.
Nobody
don't.
asked me for $5.
Yeah, but when they do, like when they do, you give them the dirtiest look, and they're like, "Oh, okay, well, I guess never mind." It's not like you're a human being or anything. Like, has Jared ever charged you for a show? Ever?
No, but
He's never tried, not once.
no.
All right, fine.
Why would he ever do that?
Because
The first time I met the kid, I said, "Hey, I kind of know that kid. Don't beat him up." And I said that to the guy that was about to beat the shit out of Jared.
I'd
Are
love
you
to hear the
calling
rest
him
of
a
that
kid
story.
right now?
Jared, yeah. I call everyone a
Was
kid.
he like
How old
28?
are you?
Jared's what? He's young.
He's like 29.
28, 29.
Yeah.
He's still younger than me.
Yeah.
Anybody younger than you's a kid.
Dude, people older than me are kids. I'm a kid.
So that concludes all of our
Intro shit. 30 minutes in. Let's start our interview with
It was exactly 29 minutes. So that's
Tight.
funny.
none other than the Juggernaut Boys.
So what we did last week is we just asked Richter a bunch of questions about his band and stuff, and then got on to our normal show.
So we're going to ask you a couple questions. Who writes most of the lyrics?
Hang on. Back the fuck up.
No.
You're always doing this thing where you want to conduct an interview from the middle and just skip all the fun shit in the beginning.
Yeah, I don't want to, like, I already know both your names and fuck everybody, other 12 people that listen to this.
All right.
Let's just
Fine,
get
let's
right
do this
fucking
right.
to it.
Hey, give your names and then come up with new voices to do names for the members of Juggernaut that aren't here. Hi, I'm Drew. I play guitar.
Oh God, I can't wait for Drew to hear this. I don't know. Okay, what's the question? Which one am I actually answering?
What is your name?
What
What
is
do
your
you do in the
name?
band?
All right, I'm Jacob. I do.
What's your
vocals.
last name, middle name,
My,
confirmation
Shut up.
name?
You're
Jacob
ruining it.
Wallace William, because you asked in a weird order. And okay, no, Jacob Wallace, and I do vocals in the band. And I'm regretting it now because these questions are throwing me off.
He asked you what your name was.
Is your middle name really William?
Yeah, it is.
Did your mom and dad conceive you while watching Braveheart?
Well, my dad's middle name was William, and his
Okay.
dad's middle name was William as well. So I think it's just because
So,
they
yes.
like the Scottish hero. Like, probably, so I think Braveheart came out after all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What year were you born?
94.
Yeah, Braveheart came out in like 91.
94. God damn it.
You all brought it upon yourself by asking.
Oh, fuck. I didn't realize you were 9.
You are terrible at math.
Damn, I wish it was still 2003.
Shit.
Oh, man. But yeah. All right. What's your name?
My name is Dillon Chirch. I'm the lead singer.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
This is going to be awesome.
I hate you. That's
Chirch
literally
been
how
doing this thing where he's just been a huge dick to me for no reason for the past like month.
Go fuck yourself.
Which one of you is the lead singer?
Me.
No.
If he was, then he would have said it, but he didn't.
Literally
so I
every
took it.
Every time. Okay, so like we talked about how he doesn't do like anything in the band. And so every time he introduces himself or anything, he'll say, or not even introducing himself, anytime he's trying to justify something, he says, Jacob, I am the goddamn lead singer of this band. All right. So he's the lead singer.
Basically, what I say goes.
What's your middle name, Dillon?
My middle name is Michael. For
Cool.
What a stupid question. Okay. If you'd like to state your backstories, not the whole backstories, like musical backstories. Obviously, I met you. You were in Ivory. Did you do anything before that?
oh yeah, oh yeah, he did.
No. Okay, so Dillon and I became friends in like junior year of high school, and I don't know, I didn't know music or how to do anything, so fucking he was that pretty boy in high school.
I still am.
He still is the pretty boy in high school.
He's definitely the Mikey Way of your band.
Do what?
He's definitely the Mikey Way of your band.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Then,
That's a dumb reference.
I don't think he knows it.
I don't know it.
Mikey Way plays bass in My Chemical Romance. He's Gerard Way brother.
Okay.
The first time I ever met Dillon, I told him he looked like Mikey Way.
The first time you ever met Gerard Way, you said that Mikey was a girl.
Yeah, I asked Gerard if Mikey was a girl. I also asked Zach if Dillon was a girl.
The first time I met Mikey Way, I almost broke his hand.
His
I'm
name
starting to
sounds
feel-
like Milky Way, and that's a candy bar, so that's cool.
Please
Right.
state you seem to be embarrassed of your previous work. So.
Yeah, a little bit. Okay, so we were in a band called How I Learned to Dance.
No. It originally started out like some kind of pop punk band that we wanted to do.
Like all-time low kind of deal.
But-
And
That sounds quite a bit like Juggernaut.
Then
a
it,
little bit.
it quickly turned to a metalcore band pretty fast.
When we had Nick Milson join, he was our friend.
Yeah.
He wrote like everything, and like I went and bought a bass because I wasn't talented, and I figured it would be easy enough to get myself started up on.
Everybody here at one point played bass, so you can happily fuck yourself.
Yeah, so we played a few shows doing that. But anyway,
We literally played 3.
we played 3 shows, and that was funny. So anyway, it was a fucking metalcore band, and it's really sad to say that was not actually that super long ago. Like I think that was like 2011 or 2012.
Yeah, that's 2012 because that was right after we graduated high school.
Oh my god. So anyway,
I graduated college already.
so yeah, that was How I Learned to Dance, and fuck all of that. And then
We
then
did
I
a
went-
cover of We Are Young.
We did.
It was about
Who's that by?
Fun.
fun.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So
you
that
know
was
it.
cool.
I actually didn't know who it was by though, because it sounds like My Chemical Romance.
Yeah,
That song really does sound like My Chemical Romance.
It sounds
like modern.
like Danger Days, My Chemical Romance.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it does.
My Chem to me will
I
forever
know,
be
but
like, thank you
it
for
also
that.
came out like at the same time as Danger Days. My Chem.
Maybe.
Similar, maybe
Please
like a year
continue.
apart.
Shut up. Just
So,
your facts are wrong.
After How I Learned to Dance, I went and I started my own. I started listening to like heavier stuff or whatever. like around the time that Mitch Lucker ended up dying, and I was getting really into like just deathcore because I was that kid. And so I met 10 from a while ago, and like we had talked in high school or something like that, and we ended up getting together and hanging out, and then I met a couple other people, whatever. Ivory was a thing for a little bit, and then that fell apart shortly after Zach Sebastian joined, which I love the guy to death. He wrote a really, really cool song, and then a month later we broke up. But in fairness, I did join Manipulator, and that was like, I guess, the breaking point. And so then I was in Manipulator. That ended up fucking breaking up, I guess, 3 times. I don't fucking know, but I wasn't in the band after the first time. And I don't fucking know what's happening with that. But then we started Juggernaut. So
Yeah.
I'll let him do his fucking backstory.
No, I was, funny enough, also the lead singer of How I Learned to Dance. After that, well, Milson and I joined Another Untold Story because that seemed like a really good idea at the time. And so I had about like a year of playing bass in Another Untold Story, and it had its ups and downs. Obviously, that ended one time because we went to play in fucking Cleveland, yeah. And the van broke down like in the middle of downtown Cleveland, and so we had to get out and push it like full of heavy ass equipment. Well, the van was like completely broken down, like the power steering wasn't working, like, and everyone was screaming at each other. So then, yeah, kind of decided that I was done with that because that wasn't cool. And then I did a whole lot of nothing for like another year. And then Manipulator was breaking up, and Jacob was like, hey, you want to do this band and have us both do vocals? And I was like, sure, on one condition, if I get to be the lead singer. And he said, dude, of course. And that's that brings me to where I am today.
So I kind of like to keep tabs on people. Obviously, you and 10 are still in, or you've came back together in Juggernaut.
Mm-hmm.
Where did the other 2 guys go? What do they do? Ivory.
Okay, well, Ivory first started off with me, John Gowan, 10, and Vince Marquet.
Fuck Vince.
Yeah, fuck Vince. No, I love the kid, but fuck him.
No,
Anyway,
Vince, if you're listening, you're a bitch.
you are a bitch. Anyway.
Damn, that's harsh coming from Dillon.
Literally picture Drew with fingerless gloves, and you've got Vince.
I mean, I saw Ivory once. I don't know if he was the kid that was
He
in
was
it.
the bassist.
Okay, I saw Ivory once, and then I mean, I met you at shows with you not really in a band,
Right. Yeah, that was when Another Untold Story was going on, probably, because I was in How I Learned to Dance, but like that just wasn't a thing. So
Yeah,
right. And so Ivory was that, and like that was my first like actual band where I was the vocalist, and we after a little bit we recorded like this EP thing with Milson, which was interesting. And then we started recording a new song with Elijah, and we made him change stuff. Elijah Fredette, our like current bassist in Juggernaut, and we fucking made him change shit in that song like 20 or 30 times. So like things were just not working out at some point or another. So anyway, John, we ended up kicking him out after Zach Sebastian joined Ivory, and then we got Elijah on drums. And then we were supposed to play a show, and then we totally didn't. And so then Ivory broke up. Didn't do anything after we
what
had
show was
really
that? Because
cool
that
lineup.
sounds familiar. What show was it that you didn't play?
The one we didn't play was War of Ages in 2013 December.
Okay.
So we were supposed to play it, and we totally dropped the day before because like Zach wasn't completely ready, and you know not everybody was completely ready. So whatever. So after that, I joined Manipulator, and yeah, I don't know the other. I guess So Manipulator happened, and I got to be in a band with Milson again, and then with Nick Farmer, Broom Dead, Tome, and Garrett. And after Manipulator was breaking up, we when I was starting Juggernaut, it was supposed to be like Tome, Garrett, me, and Dillon were like the ones starting this new band, which was going to be, you know, what it is, I guess. And we ended up getting this kid, Josh Bowling, and he ended up not staying. Tome ended up quitting too. And then we got 10.
We could sit here and talk for hours about all the fucking member changes that we've had already. We've only been around for like a year.
Yeah, I know how that goes.
I think we've had like 13 member changes or some shit. It's stupid. Like we had Josh, and then we had him, and then we brought in PJ Depew for like a week, and then that just didn't work out. And who else did we have? We got DJ.
I miss the fuck out of DJ.
DJ's super cool. I miss that kid. And then we got Vince again, the fucking bitch, to play bass. And
fuck Vince.
So, and DJ ended up quitting because of finances. Vince ended up quitting because of finances. We put a fucking ton of money into like the beginning of Juggernaut, like promotion and shit like that. Like, cause we were, posting shit from Total Deathcore, because Zach Sebastian's good friends with Nick Valleca, who's the owner of Total Deathcore.
That explains how everything he produces ends up on that page. Gotcha.
Yeah, they're like best friends. And so we put some money down to like, we didn't pay him. We just had him, you know, put the money through Facebook, whatever. And we learned that was dumb because Facebook's marketing scheme is ridiculous. And anyway, regardless, we poured a ton of money into the band in the beginning. So most of the people leaving was because of finances. God, who did we get after that? Then eventually it just became like 10, me, Dillon. Oh yeah, we got Elijah. Elijah was a drummer, and like he's a really good drummer. And we were looking for a bassist, and I messaged him, was like, hey man, do you want to like try playing bass for this? And he was like, yeah, sure. So
he fucking did it, and he's good
spent
at
like
it.
$2,100 a drummer, which is what everyone in the city is missing out on for a bass player.
Yeah. Well, he wouldn't drum for anything metal. Like he only likes drumming for very specific things, but he doesn't like drumming for metal. So he was really hesitant to join Ivory in the time. So like he never really played any shows with us. He was good. I mean, when we practiced, things sounded good. Aside from some timing, because Zach, God love him, makes the drums way too fast every time he records anything. But anyway, where was I going? So when we played our first show in Juggernaut, it was me, Dillon, Elijah on bass, and then 10. And then we had Zach Prost fill in on guitar for like the first 10 shows. And Garrett. We go through all of that. We got Drew in like May. We got fucking Garrett ended up leaving, so we got Cody, and like here we are now. Oh yeah, and Elijah's also quitting in January. And
has he already quit twice?
This is the second time, but like he's actually gonna quit this time.
Okay. I'm pretty sure Jacob's like the only one who hasn't quit twice.
Fucking, we totally were like breaking up for a little bit, and then like after we played Cuapalooza, we were like, fuck it, this is actually still fun. So yeah, this band's weird.
We're just doing it.
Right. No, we're just doing it because it's fun.
Do you have anybody in mind to play bass, or?
Yes, we have Cody's friend Chris is more than likely gonna play. We've been just like talking, and we haven't like made anything official. So like this is the first time we've ever like talked about it with anyone else. But he's more than likely gonna play with us. Yeah. So there's our entire fucking life story.
I've kind of kept track of the like the deathcore boggle game that is like the tri-state. So like when I started coming back around, 'cause shit, I didn't go to shows for like 3 years because everything I knew fell apart. Because I used to go to punk and ska shows, and then Cincy Punk just fell the fuck apart. And then like I'd go see Bowling for Soup when they came around, and like whatever was coming through Bogarts, I was super down on it. But like I didn't know what the fuck the local scene was doing until I got back into Arlington, and even then nobody gave a shit. So we didn't play shows that people actually came to. And then, pretty much started hanging out with Q, and then now I'm at everything. But
Awesome.
obviously, Hail to the King is mostly what it started as, but under a different name, obviously.
Right.
It was Hail to the King, and then not long after, I was introduced to Manipulator, and all 50 of the people that were in that band.
Jesus. Yeah. Manipulator had probably more members than Juggernaut.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, if you
I don't
count from
remember them
like
switching that
since
much.
inception.
Since like the very beginning, like I think the only original member, like the only original member throughout the entire career of Manipulator was Garrett. Like the only one, and he even quit at one point. Like
That's not what I expected, but that's funny.
Yeah.
So I have these two bands, and then Ivory jumps out for a minute, and then promptly disappears.
Yep.
You front Manipulator, a
And then
scorned
promptly
Billy.
break up.
A scorned Billy starts Apex, like immediately.
Yep. Dude, he was telling me about it because, like, it was kept under the covers for a little bit that I was going to be doing vocals for it.
No, it wasn't.
Like, between
I knew
us.
like 5 seconds before Farmer decided.
Right. So, like, I mean,
Well,
He was literally like, literally, we were sitting at a show and he's like, I'm 95% sure we're kicking Billy out. And I was like, okay. And he's like, who do you think should sing in this band? I was like, the only other person that can do it is Jacob. And he was like, well, that's who I was going to pick.
Sick.
I was actually at Brad Hester's house because I just gotten a haircut, and then Nick rolled up and was like, hey, I'm going to get a haircut. And I was like, all right, let's just pal around. And he's like, have you heard the new Ivory? And I was like, I mean, death metal's not really my thing, but, fuck it, I'll listen to it. He's like, you haven't heard it since Zach got a hold of it. And I was like, this new song, I liked it a little better. It was also just recorded really well.
Right.
And so now we have Hail, Manipulator, and Apex, who went through 15 member changes before they released a song.
Yup.
Lee
Dude,
Harden
I was in that
band.
band, actually. I forgot
he was
about
a
that.
bassist
You were.
for a
I was the
little
fucking
bit.
bassist. I took promos, and that was it.
Lee Harden was in the band. I don't know what he was supposed to be doing.
He was a Manipulator.
Yeah, Lee was a Manipulator. He played bass.
Mhm.
Did he?
Yep.
Did he
But, like,
actually?
No.
No, because he used to pretend to play keyboards for Lights Down Low.
Yup.
Yo.
Yeah. So then we have those three, and then Manipulator breaks up, and now we have Juggernaut, which is half of that. Half of, at one point Apex became like half Manipulator.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You guys take Garrett.
It's-
Oh, boy.
There's a lot of moving pieces
10,
here. You got to
yeah.
keep up.
Yeah, it's difficult.
Current drummer
Cody.
Gotcha.
He was from Apex.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
follows
treachery.
Garrett around.
And what was he in before
No,
Apex?
Apex didn't have a Garrett. That was Jacob Potsner. It was in
Oh,
Apex
okay.
at first. Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
what's
He
Cody
took those
originally
promos
from?
with me.
It's
What's
Apex.
Cody originally from?
See a treachery.
That's right.
So that's what
Which
he's
I don't
still
actually.
doing.
How many shows did he play with Sea of Treachery?
He's played a few.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I don't. He's not the drummer that I remember from Sea of Treachery.
Right. I think he's been in it for like 3 years. I could be completely wrong, but like that, I think that's what it's been.
But in that 3 years, they've played like 4 shows, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So you can see how, from my perspective, I've now known
A lot of fucking people.
the deathcore scene to be 20 people that can be interchanged at random.
Yes.
Like,
See what's
you
funny?
can just draft you guys. Like, we could just have a draft and then make 3 new bands.
Oh,
And they wouldn't
God.
sound like the old bands, but they'd sound just a tiny bit like the old bands. But
Right.
like,
What's funny to me about this whole situation, whereas like Brandon and me start hanging out 3 years ago, and Brandon goes, "Holy shit, you know fucking everybody," and then Apex starts, and he's like, "Yeah, Zach Sebastian's in this band." I was like, "Who the fuck is that?" And Brandon's like, "What? You don't know who Zach Sebastian is?" I was like, "No."
okay, so here's the funny thing about Zach is I actually met Zach outside of music entirely.
Really?
He went to OU with my buddy Corey, who lives in New York City. He's a sound guy for film. He holds the big mic with the sock on the end professionally, and he makes crazy good money. Oh, he makes crazy good money. And he's in town from New York City, and he's like, "Hey, I heard about this barbecue place," and then we end up going to Eli's barbecue. And then he's got a buddy with him who went to OU. He's like, oh, he lives in Montgomery. I'm surprised you guys don't know each other. You both record music. And I'm like, oh, hey, I'm Zach Sebastian. We're like, oh, cool. Let's eat barbecue and talk bullshit. And so that was my introduction to him. I didn't even know he played guitar. And then all of a sudden...
He's one of the best guitarists I've ever seen. Like, he's serious. I love that guy to death. Like, he's super fun to hang out with and fucking one of the best guitarists I've ever seen from here.
It's tough to be in my shoes because professionally we're working against each other. Like we're vying for who gets the job, and he always gets the job. So it's not like I'm even contending at this point. And like he actually masters all my mixes because I don't master. But yeah, I on this tiniest level, I want him to fail for 5 seconds so I can succeed. But like his work is great, so like I can't say shit to him.
Is it Gage, that other guy that's coming out?
Yeah, there's
Guy from Dead Friends is recording with this guy named Gage something, but
I figured out his last name actually earlier today because he had commented on something on Facebook that I had also commented on, but I don't remember. So his name is just Gage.
yeah,
But,
just Gage.
Is he from here?
I don't know.
There's only one Gage I know in the entire U.S., and that's Vota.
No,
Well,
Is that
maybe
his
it's
last
him.
name?
well, that might be it.
I don't know.
Anyway,
Oh, he's
so,
in like the paramedic or whatever,
Oh, is he really?
or at least lives there. I really don't know.
He lives
People
in
tell
the
me a lot of
paramedic?
things, and like half of it sticks. It's super frustrating.
Maybe
But-
you should smoke every other day,
Well, why?
so you'd remember things every other day.
Would I remember things the days I smoke or the days I don't smoke?
The days you don't smoke.
Those days suck. Why would I want to remember them?
So, another untold story diverges into a billion directions. They're hilarious because I see all of these people and they're playing Another Day to Remember is what I called it.
Yeah.
And then the next time I see some of these people, they're playing deathcore, which confused the shit out of me. Because I look at them like, oh, pop punk kids. Got it. Like I see it with my
All
eyes.
right, I understand now.
I see fucking skinny jeans and Neff beanies and Story So Far t-shirts, and I'm like, all right, cool. These are pop punk kids playing pop punk music. And then the next time I see Milson, he's a manipulator. I'm like, that's different.
Dude, I literally almost wore my Story So Far shirt today.
And then Little Beebs, Lutz, he's
Oh,
playing
yeah.
progressive gent psychotic shit. So like, what the fuck was he doing in a pop punk band?
Eric's not doing anything.
Eric keeps saying he wants to be in a band, and then anytime you ask him to be in a band, he's like, that's not what I want to play. It's like, so
And then
fella.
Zach's in another.
Another
remember.
another untold story.
I may sometimes call them the Prost inside, but I say it with love.
Oh, speaking of Zach, since we're shit talking him right now,
I'm not shit talking shit.
I took a picture of my fucking.
Wow, nice stroke pan.
I took a picture of my Facebook feed yesterday, and literally, Jackie Thomas posts, "What if sloths weren't actually slow? They were just in a different dimension of time as us." And then the next is Zach. And Zach looks like a fucking sloth. And I just thought it was the funniest fucking thing ever.
Yeah. So Juggernaut's been through like a dozen members and still changing, and there's an EP getting released.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
Let's focus on the future.
That's
and
true.
positive things.
yeah, dude.
Because
If we're being completely honest here, I'm really looking forward to this show though, because I think it's a good way to start out next year, just kind of fresh and fun, because life's getting so stressful and fucking overwhelming lately. Like I'm fucking done. I just want it to be next year. We can start over, play a cool
Same.
show. Finally release this music that we've been sitting on for like ever.
We've recorded everything separately. Like Incinerator, our first song, we recorded last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was last year because we recorded Brainwash and Succubus last year as well. But like a couple months later, Then we recorded the last 3 songs that are going to be on the CD. Like in the spring of this year. Like we've had it done forever, but we were always just thinking that we were going to add more to it and make an actual like CD. But eventually, it just got to the point where we're like, "Fuck it, let's just do an EP."
I mean, after Garrett left, we were just kind of like, well, we're just probably going to change our sound a little bit because Garrett did actually, like him and 10 pretty much wrote all the music for before.
Like we had like about 6 or 7 other songs, like, you know, recorded instrumentally through Garrett and 10. It was cool stuff, but after Garrett decided to leave, we just decided like when we do record new material, it's going to be like a little bit heavier.
Heavier than that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be like
all right,
a little bit sludgier and a little bit like, I don't know, because a lot of the stuff that we have, there's a lot of power chords and there's a lot of bounciness in the drums and things like that. Like, I don't know, when it comes to like the newer material, we want it to be like a little bit darker, I guess. So that'll be fun.
Just kind of more fun to play live in general.
Yeah, good stuff. It's fun as hell. What were we talking about?
Is there any
Our band?
Like
Yeah, I guess
interesting old stories or things leading up to this EP, or what it could be about, or what it means to you, or you know, real deep, hard hitting shit that Dillon's not going to say a goddamn word about.
I can see
It's a lot of our lyrics are
literally to answer my question. Who writes the majority?
I write the majority,
lyrics.
and okay, so I have this thing where
But
when
Dillon
I write,
lead sings them.
yes,
yeah.
No, when I write lyrics,
Elton John didn't write his own songs.
I'll have some
Greatest career
stanzas
ever
and
lived.
things. I'll have like some stanzas come out and they're gold, right? And I know I sound cocky as fuck, whatever, but like a lot of them sound just fucking awful. So like what Dillon does is he goes and fixes everything and makes it all like pretty cool. So that's typically what we do with a lot of the songs.
Lead singer.
Yeah, lead singer, whatever. Fucking so that's how the lyrics are typically written. Like I'll start it off, and you know, I used to write.
And what are some main themes?
Main themes. Well,
To be completely honest, a lot of these lyrics are kind of written to make Jacob and I laugh. Like we just think of vulgar shit. Like the first line in Succubus, it's like you always said life is a bitch and I'll be the one to fucking ruin that slut.
I mean, we have some like actual deep-seated meanings too, like in some of the songs. But yeah, when we play it, we want to come across as like we don't take ourselves as like super seriously. Like we have meanings to our songs, but we also are just having fun with it. So like I guess Incinerator, those lyrics I wrote like back when I was a Manipulator, and Manipulator was just like dark, murdering people, whatever, blah blah blah. So that
song was about bunnies and rainbows.
Yeah, well, that's what Cerebral Harvest writes about, bunnies and rainbows and shit like that. No, so Incinerator is literally just written about burning a girl alive. So that was cool. After that, we wrote Brainwashed, which was about like
Kids spending too much time on the internet.
Yep.
Essentially.
Yeah, that's what we like always introduce the song as. Dillon, lead singer over here, always introduces it as. Succubus is like about our ex-girlfriends at the time. Funny.
I mean, obviously still our ex-girlfriends, but...
Right. Anyway.
that one was... Because we had literally written the entire like instrumentals like the day
before
of.
we went to.
Well, we went up the night
it was
before,
the day of. Shit.
But we didn't finish it until the day of, like before we went to Zach's. And so we got there and we're like, what the fuck do we write about? And we're just like, fuck it, let's write about our ex-girlfriends. So that's kind of how that one happened.
Well, what are you guys separately, not together, but separately, what are your main like influences while you're writing?
That's a good question.
I feel like if you pick any band apart, they're all going to say like 2 or 3 of the same one, and then everybody's going to have something completely left field. So I mean, like, we'll just say like, obviously the first time I ever talked to Dillon about it, like we were talking about before, like he said like Drew from Stray.
Yeah.
And then obviously we were talking about outside. You take complete influence of Brendan Long from Zack and Miri Make a Porno.
Yes, exactly. No, like when it comes to like, I guess, personal influences on lyrics, I don't know. I didn't actually read a whole lot of lyrics growing up. I just kind of wrote a whole bunch.
I mean, what if you just, not even like lyrically, but like what have you listened to that goes, hey, I want to scream in a deep voice on a record?
Just like your basic ones, like Whitechapel and, you know, death metal shit like that. Honestly, I'm not a super exciting person.
I don't think Whitechapel's death metal, but okay.
Well, they're deathcore, fucking metalcore, whatever.
That's the Q doesn't believe in those subgenres. They don't exist.
It's all metalcore,
Right.
except for real death metal.
Right. So yeah, that kind of stuff.
Dillon?
Shit, dude. Honestly, I really don't listen to too much heavy music anymore. So, like, my main influences, I guess, as far as, you know, sort of vocal patterns and word choices are more like Stray or Slipknot or the freaking Story So Far. I love his word choice. Freaking tells it like it is.
Good shit.
Good shit.
I actually understand that completely because when people ask me what we sound like, I'm like, Thrice, Emery, Killswitch Engage in a blender with a black dude. And they're like, oh, sweet.
With a black dude.
But that doesn't make sense because Killswitch Engage is with a black dude, so
Yeah.
that's part of that blender.
But most people don't have a black dude in their band, so
You gotta say it.
I mean, there's like 9 local bands right now with black dudes in their
there
band.
actually are.
Name
That's-
8 of them.
I can name 2 right now. We're just running an Ocean Grade.
Peel's black, kinda.
Oh, yeah, Peel's white,
kinda.
dead friends. 10 isn't white.
He's Asian as fuck.
Isn't that black?
But if on a given day you ask me what I'm listening to, I'll probably say Streetlight Manifesto or something Muse or something weird. So like, I
Dude,
get that. completely.
Lately, all I've been listening to is shitty rap that makes me drive my car faster to get from point A to point B, so I don't have to listen to it anymore. I literally don't think I've like, except for when I've actually thought about something, my phone's been on shuffle of like Fetty Wap, Borgore, G-Eazy.
Oh my god. I get people come to me all the fucking time and they're like, you know who G-Eazy is? And I'm like, I've heard the name. And they're like, you look just like him. And I'm like, I fucking know.
I mean, I listen to him, but I have no idea what he looks
That
like.
literally happened to me like yesterday at work.
Working on it. So I guess that can conclude the Juggernaut interview.
Do you have anything final to say about your EP release coming up in a month and a week?
Yes. Fuck you, Drew. Believe that.
Now this dude looks like a grown man.
All right.
No.
I mean, maybe.
I mean, scroll through a few because I truthfully
No.
don't see it too much either. But some pictures you could see more, I guess.
is there like a bathroom I can pee in?
Yeah, we're about to take a break, actually.
We
so
are?
me and Dylan
Okay.
can smoke.
Yeah,
we
that
always take a
sounds-
break at the end of interview processes.
Oh, this has happened once, ever. This would be
Twice.
2 now.
Well, now it's your
This will be
tradition.
3 because me and Cody took a break to go outside.
Yeah, but there was no interview. Fucking whatever. Okay, cool. That I suppose can conclude the Juggernaut interview where everyone said, "I guess it's kind of like this." a band with no strong convictions who's pretty all right with everything.
We'll be back in a minute to talk about a lot of different shit, including the Fugees.
The what? Oh, you're an idiot. And we're back. Fuck you. I hate you so much. Fuck. All right. We're back from our break. Q's a dirty shit sucker. Let's talk about some other shit. We'll start light. Tool is going to tour with Primus on like a 10-day thing. Hooray.
All right, sick.
What I don't understand is, didn't he just come out like a month ago and say, fuck all you people for asking me about Tool?
Yeah. He doesn't want to talk about the new album. He thinks everybody should just shut the fuck up and wait. He hates being in a band, but he loves his music.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird. But they're touring with Primus, which is also strange because Tool's like... It's not super serious, but it's kind of serious.
I mean, it makes sense.
And Primus is like a
Tool
big
and
joke.
Primus have toured together before.
Okay. Well,
They also did a Lollapalooza together.
that didn't invoke the reaction that I was looking for. There is a good
Hey,
chance
do you guys even listen to Tool? I know Dillon doesn't.
you should start.
I've listened to the song on Guitar Hero once.
Yeah.
Shit was sick.
What about the 6 tracks they play on WEBN?
Yeah, I've heard those. That's
I'm so disappointed.
That's
in you
why
children.
that's why that didn't get as much hype as
Yeah.
you thought it would.
No, dude, I'm with you though. That's an outrage.
Awesome. All right. Rush might not tour ever again.
Thank Christ.
Fuck you. They're like, it's funny because Getty's like, I mean, I'd like to, but we'll see. Like, it's a weird situation to be in where, I mean, you've been touring for like 40 years and some people are like, look, we're not doing this anymore and you can't fucking replace them. It's Rush.
Have you ever seen Rush live?
I actually have not, which is super depressing.
Do you actually really like Rush? Because we've never actually gotten into this.
I appreciate Rush more than I listen to Rush. Like, if anybody asks me, I'm like, well, Rush is fucking tight. And like, what about this song? I'm like, look, they have 1,000 fucking songs.
I mean,
alright?
I appreciate Rush. I just thought you liked them more than you do, so that's why I always talk shit about them to you.
I really like some of their songs. I've probably not heard 2/3 of them because they have 12 albums
Yeah.
and they're really long. So, like, ask me about the singles that most people know. Yeah, I really like those.
I don't like Tom Sawyer, but everything else, that's a single.
How do you not like
It's just
Tom
a boring
Sawyer?
song.
Fucking idiot. I actually have a good Tom Sawyer story. We were, when I was in college, we were at some shitty burger joint or something. And the service ended up being shit, which was fun. But my buddy, who was the only one old enough to drink, I guess they didn't take the cap off his bottle. I don't know why they didn't do that there, but he literally like cracks the top off his beer bottle and it makes the hiss noise. Like as this first synth drop happens in Tom Sawyer. You know how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he just looks around and he's just like, I waited all day to drink this beer. And this started as soon as I opened it. It's good. It was good timing.
I have a good Tom Sawyer story too. I was sitting next to Mark Twain when he started writing Tom Sawyer.
I fucking knew it.
Dude, sick burn. That was
On
sick.
himself.
That was great. Really enjoyed that.
We were having an ale that was brought to us by slaves.
All right.
Awesome.
This is Mark Twain, who the best he could come up was naming somebody N-word Jim. So,
Was a simpler time.
yeah.
He really liked watching the river flow.
Okay. Now, I don't know if it was supposed to be funny. I'm moving on. Now that Chester Bennington has left Stone Temple Pilots to focus on Linkin Park, because that requires so much fucking work, Scott Stapp really wants... Not Scott Stapp.
Scott Weiland.
Scott Weiland, other dickhead singer. Scott Weiland really wants to be back in the band.
Dude, you just hyped me up so bad. I really want to see Scott Stapp playing Stone Temple Pilots
Oh
now.
my god. That would be awful.
No, it'd be great.
Can you imagine Plush with like Scott Stapp Marble Mouth?
It'd be perfect.
Ugh.
It'd be like a deeper Scott Weiland. That's it. A deeper voiced Scott Weiland.
Yeah, but I mean, he's been kicked out of the band like 4 times.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to let him come back.
I mean, Cy took pictures when he played the Madison Theater the other day, and Cy said he still has never seen any human being as drugged out.
Yep. I mean, Scott Weiland's trying to keep up with Keith Richards and it's not working. We're talking about old musicians and you guys are quiet.
Dude,
Do you guys
Because I
listen
don't
to
think
Stone
you've
Temple
ever-
21
Pilots?
years old.
You've probably never heard Stone Temple Pilots.
No, you have. Okay, Tool, I understand.
No, Tool, I don't fucking understand. Because Schism and The Pot are probably 2 of the dopest fucking songs ever written.
I disagree with the pod.
Isn't that the song where they totally rip off Silverstein?
STP though, like
Yeah, no, that's another band.
Sure is.
I like Linkin Park. I heard that earlier. That's a cool band. What the fucking worse? Why are we musicians?
See, this is something.
Technically, you're vocalists.
Yeah, we're not even musicians. We're just fucking guys who yell.
Yeah.
Not even a thing.
This is one thing I've noticed, and it's not necessarily a criticism. It's more of an observation that kind of leads to criticism. Is that like this younger generation of musicians has
we're fucking stupid, man.
No. It's that you guys have no perspective on old music because if you ask somebody your age in a music scene similar to this one anywhere around the world, you ask a 19-year-old, you're like, "Hey, what do you think of Shadows Fall?" And they're gonna be like, "Who?" I'm like, one of
Do
the.
you guys know who Shadows Fall is?
Yeah, they had a song in Guitar Hero.
Okay.
My point is being made. Like, they were really early in the like the Northeast melodic metalcore scene. They were like, "Oh, metalcore, like Prada." And I was like, "Do you remember music before Prada?" And they're like, "No, it was like Kenny G oldies on the radio and then Prada." And I'm like, "Do you remember there was music before Attack Attack? Do you not fucking remember?" And they're like, "No."
Well, Prada was like 2.5 years before Attack Attack.
Yeah, but like that, people's musical knowledge fucking starts there. They don't know.
Dude,
Okay, that's 2005. That's 10 years ago. If these kids are 21, they were 11. Of course, their musical knowledge starts there.
But when I was 11, I knew who fucking Bad Company was.
You're a lot cooler than us, man. I don't know.
See,
Your dad also drank.
I just don't understand the perspective.
I listened to Rise Against a lot back in the day.
See, I still listen to Rise Against.
Oh, me too.
The very first CD I got was Dookie. So I listened to like Green Day, and I listened to Bowling for Soup, and then my best friend's like older brother listened to Slipknot, and so then we started listening to Slipknot, and that's about all I listened to for.
I just think that's hilarious,
For a
just
while.
because like Dookie and the first Bowling for Soup record are like 8 years separated.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
I was into like that kind of same thing as well. I don't know. Like my very first band I ever got super into was like Good Charlotte. Like,
See, I
Here's
was
the- here's
a
the-
fanatical like third gen pop punk kid. I had wristbands and spiky hair and like a Symbol Plan hoodie and shit. But there was phases before that. Like I was interested in music long before that. And like, if it's 90s to you guys, it's like this hilarious throwback. Like, haha, funny. Like really old Usher songs. Like,
I
oh
don't
my
even
god, it's so
consider
funny.
myself a '90s kid.
no,
I don't
we were
really like
shitting
when
and pissing
people
in
are.
diapers in that
Because like
time of our life.
we were
You're
born
not.
in '94.
You're not,
it was
because
pretty
I'm a
much over.
90s kid.
Right.
And I was born in the 80s.
Well, that's the thing is your childhood, your influential years would have been in the 90s. No,
Right.
I'm talking about like when 90s music comes up to, unfortunately I have to use this word, millennials such as yourselves. You're like, oh, Aaliyah, that's funny. Like, it's so great, it's throwback. And I'm like, Aaliyah is my fucking childhood. Like, that was on the
Neither
radio.
Jacob nor Dylan probably knows who Aaliyah is.
Yeah, I have no idea what
She
you're talking
died
about.
No
before.
Son of a bitch.
Okay, here's the thing. Look at this. 10 years ago, 2005. If you didn't want to have to listen to the radio, you didn't have to listen to the radio. You had MySpace.
Maybe
and
that's
they'd
why.
burn CDs.
Maybe that's
we
why.
we all grew up and we were like, hey, we like rock. I really like metal, but they don't play metal on the radio, so I have to listen to EBN.
Yeah, I
Like
still
that's
do.
the closest thing that I'm gonna find to rock on the radio. Because when I was a kid, 96 Rock wasn't there.
Well, it was 97.3.
Yeah, but even before that, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Like when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like 97.3 started when I was a sophomore or junior in high school. And the reason I remember that is because it was a country station, and to change the format, they played Kid Rock's Ball with the Ball for 24 hours straight.
That's hilarious. Real quick, could you guys name me 3 Pink Floyd albums?
No.
Dude, I can't name you 3 Pink Floyd records.
Can you name me 3 Led Zeppelin albums?
That's easy. Led Zeppelin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
The first four,
I owned one. It was the Mothership, but
4 of their
That was
albums
it.
were literally just called Led Zeppelin. So that was a loaded
They
question.
only have one
hoping.
good
Damn.
record, Physical Graffiti.
Fucking, I don't even.
Houses of the Holy, you fucking
No, that
idiot.
CD sucks.
You suck.
That
Over
right.
the Hills and Far Away is the dopest. Anyway,
Led Zeppelin blows.
can you name me 3 AC/DC songs?
I don't like ACDC. I'm gonna be the one to say it right now.
Yeah, no, I'm over.
Horse?
I don't know if that was a joke.
That's a death clock.
Let's go a little newer.
No, I'm trying to swing up.
Name me 3 Nirvana records.
Fucking.
I should be. I don't like to brag about it or whatever, but I'm totally,
He is Kurt.
I'm Kurt Cobain. Because I was
Reincarnated because
I
you
was
were
born on the same day he killed himself.
No
the
way.
same day he died.
Really?
Yeah,
That's tight.
that's
Good
about
stuff.
how old I am.
Dylan, you're my new best friend.
All right, sick.
From tough guy to best friend.
Let's try a little. Can you name me 1 Social Distortion song?
Listen, we can name you or not name you things all night, or we can get to the issues that matter here.
I'm just trying to make a point.
Can you name me 1 Alice in Chains song?
Yeah,
Okay. What is it?
Man in the Box.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, fine. Christ. That's like QAnon's
What else am I gonna
favorite
say?
band.
Will you highlight that Scott Weiland thing? We'll talk about it with Dylan and Evan next week and get a way better response.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. But that's what I mean. It's interesting to me because when I came up through like what I eventually learned to be punk, hardcore, metalcore, metal, blah blah blah, all this shit, I had this back knowledge of like, okay, well, Thin Lizzy started like the cool harmonized guitars thing, and then Iron Maiden took off with that, and then eventually that turned into hair metal, and then hair metal just revolted completely, turned into either Pantera or grunge, and then we got new metal. Is new metal a new thing to you guys?
A little bit.
It's like, oh shit, that's that old thing. Is that how that?
No, honestly, like a lot of these bands are starting to come out with like this sort of new metal, like revival type thing that's going on.
But it's just new for you.
No, like when we listen to it, it's just kind of like, I remember liking stuff like this.
Mm.
That's
Yeah.
about
Do you guys listen to Korn?
all the
I
time.
listened to a little bit of Korn before. I never like knew anything by them, but like Slipknot was like the only new metal.
I was going to say that first Korn record came out the year you guys were born.
I bought that record too.
Good shit.
Do you remember what it was called?
I was less than a year old. I don't know how you expect that I'm going to remember what it's called.
I don't know. I'm guessing you bought it like within the last 6 years and not when it came out.
Like
No.
less than a year old.
I bought it when it came out because I'm a dedicated fan.
So I guess this actually kind of puts a rest to my not knowing how the fuck this happened, is because we grew up when you
Right.
got music from the radio, other people, and then eventually the internet, and you guys grew up that all the music was on the internet. Do you have any experience with Pure Volume? Did you ever have to use Pure Volume?
I never had to use Pure
Pure
Volume.
volume.
Okay, it used to be that when you wanted to find new music, you either dug through MySpace and Pure Volume. You just went by genre and just listened to 3 songs of every band you could find until you found something you liked.
I never did
Here's the
that.
thing, like, too, when I was younger, I was sheltered super hardcore. Like, I wasn't allowed to have a MySpace. Like,
Is that
growing
because
up.
you're a ginger and you don't have a soul?
Yeah, exactly, actually. That's exactly the reason.
And look at you. You just
Like, I just came out with all my fucking all black shit with my stupid fucking long hair. Yeah, I came out a fucking wreck.
And your
So,
devil music.
I know, my devil fucking worshipping music.
And your shitty fucking hoodie.
My shitty fucking hoodie. Fuck you, I like this band.
Fuck that band. More so than almost every other band.
So on to trendy music. Punk Goes ... is making Punk Goes Christmas, and I'm kind of pissed because this is the first year that I'm putting out a Christmas album, and so the fuck are they?
You should get your song on the Punk Goes Christmas.
That would be dope.
It only costs you $4,500.
You should, I don't know, find some way to sue them and get them to stop because
Get to business.
honestly, like after like the second Punk Goes Pop, I was like, all right, guys, like we get it.
Okay, hang out.
Yeah.
The only reason that I'm totally for it is because that's the only reason I find out about pop songs.
See, I actually, my radio is programmed to 3 rock stations and 3 pop stations. And I just cycle through all 6 because I want to hear what shitty pop song Justin Bieber put out so I can decide whether or not to cover it. So I listen to pop radio every day just to give me like a reason to be mad.
The only thing that I know popular music wise is when I have to work at the strip club and they play new music. And it's the only reason I know who Borgor or Fetty Wap is.
I never listen to like any radio ever. So, I don't know. I just listen to my fucking CDs like when I'm in a car.
The radio in my car's broken and I don't have a CD player, only a cassette player. So
My whole thing.
I listen to a lot of Michael Bolton. That's pop.
I've
Michael
got,
Bublé. I don't fucking care what anyone says.
I've
about
got
that.
this Leonard Skinner live cassette.
Yeah. Dude, that was actually my first concert ever. Was Leonard Skinner and Kid Rock.
So
that was like 4 years ago.
It was the first one they did. It was
So
like
5 years ago?
2007 or something.
Really? That was that long ago already?
God, my first show was Asking Alexandria.
And you should go back in time and abort yourself. Right
Yeah,
now.
no, I mean, I've tried, dude. Fucking, anyway.
Warped Tour 2004. It was the first real show I ever went to.
Ozfest 96.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What was Drew's first show?
It's probably 2 weeks ago. Probably one he played.
It was probably one he played.
No, he went to shows, like, he saw me in Manipulator the first time we played that. Like, I didn't even know that was him. Because, like, he told me this story, like, after he joined. He was like, yeah, no, I totally, like, knew you from Manipulator. He went to that show. So, God, I don't know what his first show would be. Like, fucking, I don't know his life. But no, he's been, like, going and seeing bands since he was, like, 13 or something.
I guess if we're getting real technical, though, my first concert, I did go to see like a Barney live event when I was real young.
I went to Chuck E. Cheese and, like, you know, the fucking...
Dude, I literally did not have anything, like any sort of party at Chuck E. Cheese until I was 16 years old.
I've never been to Chuck E. Cheese.
Like, ever?
Never.
When I first went to Chuck E. Cheese, Super Mario Brothers was an arcade game.
Fuck.
All right. So Punk Goes Christmas is probably going to be mostly crap, just like the last Punk Goes. Was it Pop? Was the last one a Pop?
I don't know, dude. Like I said, I stopped following it. Like,
They got out of control.
right.
It got ridiculous.
Who was on Pop Goes Punk
hang
1?
on. We cannot really scream bloody murder about Punk Goes Pop when we're seriously sitting on now 112.
No, I looked it up. We went through the chronology. We looked. They're putting out 2 and 3 now records a year,
Yeah.
and it's literally just a radio playlist.
Yeah.
It's astounding. Like they don't
And
even
it still
try.
like number 4 on the billboards every week.
Oh, they sell 100,000 copies of every single one.
Are they really?
Oh yeah, people actually buy now records. Everyone is certified at least like silver.
My mom and my sister fucking buy that shit.
Well, then that would be 500,000 and not 100,000.
What's 100,000 gold?
No, a million's gold.
That's platinum.
Oh yeah, that is platinum.
I don't know. I don't care. I don't sell records.
I'm pretty sure 100,000 is like aluminum.
Fucking aluminum. What a shitty thing to get.
It went pewter. But yeah, the last Punk Goes Pop, I feel like there's like 2 tolerable things on it. Like the very first one. I remember the very first one. You weren't alive yet.
Yes, they were.
You know who was on it was a bunch of nobodies. Literally nobody. Does anybody know who No ID is?
No
I remember
idea.
seeing it on the first Pop Goes Punk. album.
Yeah, didn't they have that one cover song?
They absolutely did. And then eventually it just turns into let's pump out one of these a year where Memphis May Fire covers fucking Interstate Love Song. I've never been so angry in my entire life. It was a fucking mess.
There's a lot of big bands on that first Punk Goes Pop.
Come on, help me out here. Go through them.
I am. Dynamite Boy. They were a big band. Slick Shoes, Yellow Card, Stretch Armstrong, Rufio, Further Seems Forever. They're not big. They're not big. They're not big. The Starting Line. They're not big. Reach the Sky.
Oh wait,
Fake
Starting
ID.
Line did the J-Lo cover.
Yeah, Show
God,
Off.
that was good.
Thrice. I mean, that's like 7 big bands on that.
Yeah, but relative to
And then Punk Goes Pop 6 is the newest one.
Yeah,
I mean,
wow.
that's got a.
There are only 6, and I'm bitching so hard about their existence.
there was also Punk Goes Metal. There was Punk Goes Acoustic. There was
Punk Goes Crunk.
Punk Goes Crunk. Punk Goes 80s.
Yeah,
Punk Goes 90s.
Yeah.
There's 2 Punk Goes 90s.
Is there 2?
Yeah.
Bad Light for Blue Eyes was on one.
Hang
That
on,
was
I don't
dope.
even know any of these people on Punk Goes Pop Volume 6. Who the fuck is Tyler Carter?
The guy from What
Was the
Was
singer
Me.
from What Was Me?
And Issues.
Well,
He's,
I mean, August Burns Red is big. We Came as Romans is big. I don't understand why anyone listens to Set It Off. I don't understand why Black Greg likes Crown the Empire.
Crown the Empire, I call them Keyboard the Band.
Ocean's 8 Alaska's horrible.
Yes,
I
they
don't know
are.
who Youth in Revolt is.
all those.
Volumes is god awful. Knuckle
Youth
Puck
in
is
Revolt.
funny.
I heard that. Hold on.
There's also a movie.
Slaves is on this. I mean, like, they're definitely not big. I get Johnny Craig's in it, but they're not a big band.
They kind of are. a
State
big
Champs
band.
is on this. They're not a big band.
Yeah, they are.
No, they're not.
And the pop punk scene, all 7 of those
I mean,
bands.
but
that
not
are-
really. Not like you got the story so far playing to 1,200 kids a night. State Champs is playing to 300. They're not a big band.
All right.
Palisades is
I can play the 300
horrible. I Prevail is horrible.
That was added after the fact. Fuck that shit.
What is
I
it?
Prevail,
Yeah.
that one that got famous off of.
The Taylor Swift.
Paris
cover.
is on here. Everyone likes them.
That was a late addition too.
Ice Nine Kills. They've
Also
been
that.
doing it forever. They suck.
Dude, Ice Nine Kill. I
Like
used
Ice
to
Nine
like
Kills.
Ice Nine Kills so much, like with the Burning EP. And then after that, they became. I mean,
The
they're
only
still
reason I
real
can't talk-
talented and all,
The
but
only reason I can't talk shit about Ice Nine Kills is because like every tour they do, they take out like a friend of mine, and that's adds to their resume, and then they get a really good job after that.
They used to be
That's
a new
cool.
metal band.
I mean, their newer stuff is kind of new metal.
Yeah, but then they completely trend hopped until they became a chugcore band. They pulled it close to home. Yeah. Anyway, yes, most of this is serious. Zoolander 2 trailer dropped.
Yeah, I watched it,
Justin Bieber's in the movie.
but he dies in the movie, so isn't that a positive?
That could be, yeah. For the record, Ben Stiller is 49 years old.
Well,
Jesus.
Yeah, but isn't Owen Wilson older?
Probably. But like
Older than
those
49?
two guys. Like, when
What
did
did
the
you say?
first one come out?
Said older than 49.
99.
Like that's so long to wait for a sequel, but it looks just as retarded as the first
Did you
one.
like the first one?
Yeah, not the first time I saw it, but years later I saw it again and I was like, all right. This is
Yeah.
stupid in all the right ways.
Yeah. I don't think this looks good.
But we're officially getting Zoolander 2. So
What did you think about Dumb and Dumber 2?
I didn't actually see it.
I love
Really?
that. It was great.
I was real cautious when I went into it, honestly, because I was like, man, I feel like they're just going to
it got a little
mess
cheesy
this
and
up,
dumb,
make it like a stupid modern comedy movie, but it still had it had some pretty solid laughs in there.
I haven't seen the entire first one, so I haven't seen the second one.
Fucking
You ever
kidding
seen
me?
Dumb and Dumber?
Fucking first one was my childhood. Like fucking, you guys talk about your childhood. Dumb and Dumber was my childhood.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. I never watched it as a kid. And then I've tried to watch it 5 times since everyone's like, that's one of the movies you have to watch. And all 5 times, whoever's copy we watch, about 45 minutes in, it starts skipping. It won't play on whatever DVD player we're watching it on. So I don't think I'm supposed to see Dumb and Dumber.
All right.
I've also never seen A Christmas Story, though.
Damn.
You've never seen a
Okay, hang on.
I feel that way about
I'm going to
Napoleon
back him up
Dynamite,
because
though.
I've never intentionally watched A Christmas Story, but I think I've seen most of it in pieces. I've also never watched The Wizard of Oz from end to end.
I've seen highlights of A Christmas Story and
It's a
like
fucking
other
stupid movie.
pieces, but like I've never watched it. And I mean, like the Christmas movie that I watch and I love, it's my number one movie of all time, is It's a Wonderful Life.
You're a
Fucking knew
depressing old fuck.
Yeah.
It's not depressing. That movie's happy as fuck.
Yeah.
It's called It's a Wonderful Life for a reason.
Duh.
I thought it was ironic. That was the point.
You wouldn't know irony if it slapped you in the face with an iron.
This is what I deal with. I don't know if you guys listen to every episode, but like this is what I fucking deal with.
Yeah, whatever. You and your fucking buddy at work are the only two that talk shit about what I say.
Actually, he doesn't work there anymore.
Oh.
Yeah.
He probably still listens.
Doubt it.
Okay.
All right, so things are only going to get a little more serious and then super serious.
Can we do one thing real quick?
What's up?
Because it's not that serious, but it's serious to me. We are 1 month away from Star Wars coming out.
Yes.
And that's fucking awesome. And I literally today started playing an RPG that's supposed to bridge the gap. And the game itself sucks, but I want the storyline.
That's dedication. I want to know what happens in the next movie, so I'm playing this video game I don't like.
Yeah, pretty much.
So that it sets up the story for me.
Yeah.
It's true fan shit right there.
Dude,
Actually,
I
wanna
love
get-
Star Wars.
I really want to get Battlefront, but I don't have like any money. I just bought a car.
I really want to get Battlefront, but they didn't make a 360 version.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Dude, Brent just got the freaking special edition PS4 with like Darth Vader on it and Battlefront. And I don't get to play that until we get a place together because I'm living with my fucking grandparents.
Can't you just go to wherever Brent is and hang out and play it?
Well, I could, but I'm here.
I literally,
thanks, guys.
a buddy of mine from Dayton, Patrick, was like, "You need to talk about Star Wars being a month away." And I was like, "If I talk about it, can I come to your house and play Battlefront?" He's like, "Sure." And I'm probably gonna go to his house tomorrow and play Battlefront.
Right.
Yeah.
Great.
Actually, there's a Friendsgiving in Dayton as well. But while everyone else is eating turkey, I'll be playing Battlefront.
I'll be fucking serving. Can't wait for that shit.
barf.
Yeah. Serving a Cracker Barrel. Good shit.
Oh, I thought you meant bartending, serving.
Nah.
Serving a bunch of alcohol.
Nah. Like, I'll
People in
actually
front of you will
serve-
be eating turkey though too, probably. You
Yeah,
guys
they
have
will
turkey
be.
at Cracker Barrel, right?
Yeah. Well, that's like why we're open on Thanksgiving. Shit sucks though.
How lonely do you have to be to go to Cracker Barrel on Thanksgiving?
Ask like every single person who goes
Dude.
because it is like a 2-hour wait every Thanksgiving.
Jesus.
All of my friends, like me and all my
Doesn't-
friends, go to Waffle House on Christmas.
Does nobody know how to cook? They have to go to Waffle.
No,
or
I guess not.
Or the
Well,
Maybe they're
my
just
dad and
lazy.
I-
Think
my-
about how much this generation is lazy.
My dad's
pretty
new
lazy.
tradition is, and my dad's a fucking crazy partier with my new stepmom. She's fucking hysterical too. Ever since last year, we are deciding that we're going to go to Hooters every Christmas. That's actually my very first time going to Hooters, and it was great because it's like half price appetizers and shit. So we go there and get a bunch of half price
Their
appetizers.
fried pickle chips are really good.
Yeah, no, they were good. I was hungover as hell when I went, but that was stupid.
You
I
were
don't know.
drinking on Christmas Eve?
Christmas, yeah, dude. My dad gets me
Jacob.
drunk.
Eggnog, come on. The way eggnog's supposed to be.
Hey, fuck off. Regular eggnog's just fine.
Oh no, I agree. I don't drink alcoholic eggnog, even
Alcoholic
when I drink.
eggnog's pretty gross, actually.
Yeah, I don't really think
Well,
eggnog tastes too great either.
That's what eggnog was invented for, was alcohol. It's not the original. Didn't come, or the what we drink. It didn't come till later.
Yeah.
The actual
Fine.
good tasting stuff.
Actually, Brian's going to completely disagree with me on this, but soy milk eggnog is the bomb.
I don't think I'd like that.
Well, you hate soy milk. Of course you wouldn't like it.
It's
I
gross.
like that rice dream stuff. Is that soy milk?
No, that's rice milk.
I like rice milk.
Context clues.
Anyways, what's next?
So what's this about band merch?
So I got in a very small argument that shouldn't really matter, but I had a kid today who literally we were talking basically about how like I don't really have a lot of money ever, and basically it came up, but like it's gonna get cold and I don't have that many warm clothes. So like yesterday, I paid $25 for a hoodie.
What about your Hail hoodie?
I mean, it doesn't fit that well. This is a 3X. But I mean, I have hoodies, but I mean, like, I can't just wear one hoodie everywhere. Anyways, I was talking about $25 for a hoodie, and he was trying to tell me, like, why don't you just go to Walmart and pay $8 for a hoodie? And I was trying to explain to him, like, it's not only like I'm keeping myself warm, but I'm also supporting friends and helping a band get from point A to point B. And then he got into a huge argument, and I don't know the kid, so I went back and like was looking through his pictures while we were arguing. And I came to a picture and I hit him back and I was like, wait, we're talking about how neither of us, like, I'm on Social Security right now because of my condition. He just doesn't have a job, period. So we're talking about both being poor. But I went back and I was like, what about you have a picture from 4 days ago that shows you bought a $180 pair of Air Jordans. And he was like, well, yeah.
What am I going to do?
Why would I wear anything besides Air Jordans? Do I want to get picked on at college?
I mean, I will say this, currently wearing Jordans, they're fucking uncomfortable, so buy anything else.
Okay.
They're really narrow and they have no fucking support because Nike doesn't care about us anymore. But they were yellow, so I had to buy them.
I don't know what that means.
It means exactly what it sounds like.
If you
Like he's a coward?
no, like fucking black and yellow clothing, I must
because
own
you're a
it.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
It's not
fan.
even about the fucking Pittsburgh Steelers. Is that if you give me a black T-shirt, a black band shirt, and I have the choice between a white logo and a yellow logo, I'll pick yellow every fucking time.
Okay. Is it because you secretly want to be a bumblebee?
No, it's because I like yellow, you fucking moron. The same way you like camo.
I don't like camo. It's just cheap.
But to your
Real
point, I mean,
like,
I think merch prices got out of control when, like, I watched Hale sell windbreakers for $50.
yeah. But I mean, like this is a hoodie for $25.
That's not terrible.
No. And I mean, like, I think you've been to 2 Coheed's shows since the last time I saw Coheed. And the last time I saw Coheed, like 4 years ago, their hoodies were like $60.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't buy shit while the band was on tour. It's outrageously overpriced. I'll wait until they do the merch clean out 3 tours later and then pick it up for $5.
Yeah.
Because I'm a cheap fuck.
But there's also a difference between Coheed making 20 grand a night and
Right.
Newhart last night getting $100 to get to North Carolina.
How was that show?
It was okay. By the end, it was like 30.
Break even?
I mean, it wasn't my show.
Did
It was Christopher's show.
break even?
Yeah.
Super. Great. I don't fucking know whose show it was.
Your least favorite band played.
Who's that?
Spirit and the Bride.
They're not my least favorite band.
Okay, this is the only argument that I have. Like,
I've heard their music and I really, really don't care for it.
okay. That's better than what you said the other day.
Well, that's because I'm on the air. I don't have anything against any of those guys. The vocalist, they work security at the 86. He's a really nice dude. I just really don't understand anybody who is interested in that band because it is not very good.
Maybe you just don't like it very much.
And it's also, I mean, like a lot of people get into it because
it's boring hardcore to you.
And a lot of people like it because they're Christian.
And
like,
a lot of people don't like it because they're Christian. Not you. I'm saying people that saw them last night don't like it because they're a preachy Christian band.
I just didn't like them because they weren't a very good band.
I mean,
they need to practice more.
Well, seeing them last night and the last time I saw them, compared to when they played in my basement, like they're way more together. They do sound.
I will say it's been several years since I've seen them. So,
okay. So that could also have to do with it. They're very together. They play standard anthemic, spirit-filled hardcore.
Gotcha. Charlie Sheen is HIV positive.
Heyo.
Tiger blood.
Yeah, so much like fewer people were concerned about his well-being or the people he may have given it to, as they immediately just went straight to jokes. Like, winning, losing. Like, so much for Tiger Blood. Like, the best one I heard This one was fucking great. I told it at work, and it took the dudes at work like 2 minutes to get it. They said 1 in every 2.5 men has HIV.
Yeah, I saw that.
And they're like, man, that's a really shitty statistic. Like, there's 3 of us here. Like, I bet the half is the bottom half. That's where your cock is, and that's where your ass is. Like, that's probably where you're going to get HIV. And I was like, no, like 2.5 men. They're like, oh, fuck, right. That show, that sucks. All right. Yeah, like, nobody fucking cares that he's going to die.
What really sucks out about that joke is the other dude that's in that, or the kid. What if one of them gets HIV? And then you'll have 1 and a half out of 2.5
gets
men.
it.
What if Ashton Kutcher gets it?
I think Ashton Kutcher already has. Well, no. Him and Mila just have herpes together.
Most likely. Most of Hollywood has herpes at this point.
Yeah.
And it's all Derek Jeter's fucking fault.
Oh, really? I haven't heard this.
No, because, okay. Derek Jeter dated Cameron Diaz,
Yeah.
who also dated Justin Timberlake,
Okay.
who also gave it to Britney Spears,
And Mila Kunis.
and probably her too. Definitely, Justin Timberlake definitely gave it to Scarlett Johansson,
Yeah.
and it just branches fucking infinitely outward.
Yeah.
Just herpes everywhere, and it's all come back to Derek Jeter's dirty dick. Fuck the Yankees and fuck Derek Jeter's dirty ass dick.
Yeah, I actually like Derek Jeter. He's the only Yankee I've ever enjoyed because he's humble.
Yeah, he's got the freaking herpes to keep him in check.
Yeah, like how big's your ego gonna get when you have just itchy fucking dick bumps every day?
I mean, it's
I know it's not that bad, but I mean it's bad, but it's like it's not.
What is
constant.
it? Like the real fact on it? Like 1 in 3 people have herpes.
But that's like the herpes, like you get cold sores.
Yeah.
Like that's not like the actual
okay.
dick bump.
Oh, I
herpes.
thought that was
That's
genital herpes.
No.
herpes simplex 3 or some shit like that, or it's letters or numbers or some shit.
Whatever. I just figured that 1 in 3 was the entire state of California.
I mean, the statistics probably a lot worse on the West Coast. Anyway, Charlie Sheen he's got the money. He'll probably live many years still comfortably.
The thing is, does Charlie Sheen want to live?
Well, yeah.
Are you sure? He acts a certain way where he like I've literally seen him in an interview like, I've done a lot of shit in my life. If I get hit by a car tomorrow, who gives a fuck?
I suppose.
I mean, he's pretty old, isn't he? He's like in his 50s.
I guess.
I'm pretty sure he's in his 50s.
Hollywood keeps you young.
True, but
So-
I mean, his dad's like 85.
Yeah. I don't know. With the amount of money he's got, with the way modern science is going. I mean, we were talking about Magic Johnson. He got HIV in the 80s,
Yeah.
and he's still alive.
I read an article like the past few months ago that said something about they found like a big lead on curing like HIV that's like born in babies or something like that. Like they were able to cure HIV in a
He is 50
if
years
they're born
old.
with it. So that's neat.
That is neat. I've not read that. I'm gonna have to find that.
That was I think it was posted like around March or February or something. I could be wrong, but I know it was earlier this year.
Charlie Sheen is 50. His dad, I was wrong though. He's 75, not 80.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure Charlie Sheen made like $1 million per episode of 2.5 Men.
Yeah, before
million-
they shit canned him.
$1 million per episode for several seasons. Like, even if the dude blew half of it on cocaine and hookers, like he's probably still worth several $1 million.
I mean, did you know they're from Dayton, Ohio?
the Sheens?
Yeah.
The Estevez Sheens?
Yeah. No, the Sheens. What do you mean the Estevez Sheens?
Emilio Estevez was a Sheen.
He is a Sheen.
Yeah, he changed his
Emilio
name.
Estevez is a changed name. He's still a Sheen.
Yeah, but that's fuck it. Never mind. Any more on Charlie Sheen? Anybody give a good joke? Like, no? All right.
I got a good joke. Doesn't really have to do with Charlie Sheen though, so it can wait.
All right.
Sweet.
I love where this is going. He who shall not be named, and henceforth called such, keeps posting in your event page. And I can't see it because the cocksucker blocked me like 2
But I
fucking years
saw
ago.
I can't see, like, it's really weird how Facebook treats it because I blocked him because he wouldn't stop fucking messaging me forever ago.
I wish I had
And-
blocked him first so I could unblock him because I want to watch the shenanigans.
Right.
But I always get content unavailable.
Well, yeah, it says content unavailable, but I can like see his comments and I can see the fact he posted it. Like, I just delete it now, but like he was posting some shit, and I was like, why? Like, what is the purpose of this? I don't know. It was just dumb.
I kind of laughed though when he made fun of Billy.
Oh God.
We called him fat. I saw a screenshot.
And then Billy's like, I mean, I might be fat, but you're not too small yourself.
And Billy texted me all that. He was one of the first people to like tell me about all that, and I was like, well, fuck. Why is he doing that? But no, because like I got sick of him.
I think Dillon should fight him.
Fucking
I'll fight him.
no, dude. He's gonna bring his fucking bodyguards because he needs them. Fucking
I'll fight the bodyguards too.
I think Drew should fight him.
Fucking Drew's a little ribbed kid. I could see them fucking tearing him down. Actually,
Here's what I have to do to bring in the next topic while into this topic. Sam can't come to our shows, but you should get him drunk and take him to a
You shall not be named show.
Oh, whatever. Sorry.
You fucker. It's your rule and you broke
is
it.
my
that's
rule.
good. Might just do that. Set off a little time bomb in there.
You can edit that out.
I'm going to have to now. I'm going to have to bleep it. I know how to bleep shit. So it's
Mother
good.
Yeah. So fuck that guy.
He came on my bass player sideways because he posted something in a group looking for a drummer, and he was like, "Your band fucking sucks." Like, why?
Cool.
You've been kicked out of your last 3 bands for being a colossal cocksack, and you're gonna tell me that my band sucks? All right, why? Because you're mad at me.
I mean, that's the only reason. If you weren't in the band, then he wouldn't have said anything.
He's mad at me because he fired
he
me.
owes you $50.
Because he fired me after I refused to give him the work that he refused to pay me for. He contracted me to do a flyer. I made him a flyer. Before I sent him the final copy, I was like, yo, what's my cut on this? And he copped an attitude, fired me, called me a string of racial slurs of races that I am not. And
Not black.
and then fired me, used my flyer anyway, never paid me for it, and then demanded I send it to him anyway, like 12 different times. And he's just had it out for me because he's a dumbass. I didn't even do it.
Like I didn't even do it.
Like I have since spent hours of my life talking shit about him because he's a bad person.
It's amazing. Like, I always like to think that, you know, all humans like have some sort of like, you know, they all want to do good, and then like,
Well,
I
that's
don't
the
know.
thing. To be truly evil, you have to think that you're doing good. And he does think that he's doing good.
yes, I don't know. Like, I mean, I guess
He thinks
if you
he's
think
running a profitable business for himself that's paying his bills.
paying his bills, like,
And
I mean,
buying his
he should
weed
fucking
and
drive the
Corvette.
yeah, he can drive the fucking tickets around, then pay the fucking local bands $50 max for it. God damn, like he fucking, I can't tell you the amount of times he like called me and like would not stop calling while I was in class or something. And like, I would sit there and turn off the phone over and over, and he would keep calling, and then I'd get a bunch of texts being like, you better answer soon. I'm like, what the fuck? And like, again, like while I was sleeping too, like, I'm sorry, man, I have other things to do. I'm a full-time student, full-time employee. Go fuck yourself. Like, I'm not going to be a slave to you.
No, you need to push these tickets.
You need to
make it happen.
You need to post on the Facebook more about it. Like, fucking,
Man,
why
I
would
just asked you to try to bring 10 people that pay.
right. No, God, nobody like bought tickets for his shows either because everyone knew that he was a fucking dickhead.
And they're overpriced.
Right? Yeah, $12 to go to
yeah.
the backstage cafe. Go fuck yourself.
Wow. That's terrible.
No, because like
That's
that,
hardly
the
even a
backstage. Yeah, it costs like on. I think he told me because we were talking about it before. It costs like $280 like total to book it there with security and sound. Like that's $280 total. Like he was literally making $1,700 off of one backstage show.
He probably thought he was getting ripped off too.
Yeah, because there's no reason that he should put the time and effort into Facebook that he does without making at least 50 grand a week.
Well, the whole Bogarts deal blew up, and he got super pissed off because the money was not being distributed the way that he wanted to. And there's a hit out on him right now because he said that the person who got them in the venue should not have ever been paid for it, which was a terrible thing to do.
You're gonna have to delete that and this from this.
Why?
Just you are.
I'm probably not going to do it.
Can't say there's a hit out for it.
I don't mean a mafia hit. Shit, I've threatened to kill a guy like 15 times on Facebook this week. Until you told me he moved, I was literally going to post a screenshot of his like house circled on Google Maps in the Cincinnati Against Dickhead group. Just so all these people are like, dude, I'm going to fucking key his car. But like, right here, just go. I'm like, I'm not saying it's here.
That's why I'm still pissed at Gruber. Like, his car at the time, his Mustang, is 2 cars away from my van. You can't like put fucking a brick through his window. You're going to put a brick through my van window.
Yeah. But
a beer bottle. Sorry. Let's be correct.
The thing that got me fired was the Rose funeral show, and I hit him up and I was like, hey, cool, like what's my cut? And he was like, what do you think you deserve? I was like, that's just a dickhead answer off the top,
Right.
first of all. And I said, all right, how about this? You either give me $50 or 5% of whatever you walk out the door with. And that was unreasonable to him. He stood to make $5,000 and he couldn't give me $50.
With backstory to that, you had been making flyers for 2.5 years for him. And
it wasn't that long.
Okay, well,
it was about a straight year, and he would give me $3 to $5 every 2 weeks or so. The next time I saw him, he'd just like pull $5 out of his wallet and be like, here's like for the last 3, like, run across the street, here's a 10, go get us both a Red Bull. Like, I wasn't trying to make a bunch of money off of him or anything, but like, if he stands to make several $1,000s, I was like, hey, look,
what did I pay you to beneath the sky?
Cut me in. I think I asked you for
like 35,
like 25 or something like that, and he eventually gave me like another 20. Although he was like, being a part of this project should be enriching enough. He doesn't deserve to get paid.
Yeah,
this is the guy who
wants being a part of it should be enriching enough for him.
He wants everyone to just be an intern, basically.
Yeah, like he'd call me at like 11:30, like actually call me, which pissed me off because I hate talking on the phone. He'd call me and be like, add this band, take this other band off. I need to see that tonight. I need to drop this by midnight. I'm like, it is 11:35. I'm in the middle of a movie with my girlfriend.
I just want to know, like, what he thinks he deserves out of all of it. Like, why he thinks he deserves all of that.
He thinks he's doing hard work.
But it's no. Like, anybody could do that.
I will say in retrospect to that, though, there are a lot of bands that think they deserve more than they actually do.
Well, yeah, but like, in reference to him, though, like, obviously, I'm not saying that like against every single promoter. I just mean directly against him. I don't know.
I mean, like, the one thing that Brandon will agree with me on one of the shows when we were both with he who shall not, because I almost slipped.
Yep.
But is from the opposite side of it. There was a band, a dude that showed up with his daughter and his daughter's boyfriend and a friend of his, and they came from Middletown and played. And they thought they were gonna they were like, oh, this is our first show. It's gonna be huge. We're gonna have like 150 people here. And they brought 2 people that paid, and they're like, well, you just didn't promote it well enough, and we need $100.
That's funny.
You could tell he was like of the old school mentality where you showed up in your cover band and played at a bar for like 3 hours, and they
played an STP cover that you wouldn't know because you don't know who STP is.
No, that's accurate.
There were nights when, I mean, we fucking packed the backyard bar and money was abundant. And Q paid bands out of his pocket because shithead wouldn't pay up. Like, there'd be people driving down from Dayton and stuff, and it was like, hey, look, they're going to bring a shitload of people, flip them 20 for gas, and then if you're feeling charitable, some more for packing this place. And his thing was like, oh, well, they need 20 for gas? Well, I gave them 15, and they should just be happy they played this, and I'm going to pocket the rest. Like, you didn't do any work.
I mean, like, the one big thing that I do disagree with, well, let's precursor this. he is 100% business, and I'm about 90% fun when it comes to booking, and 10% I don't want to lose money that I don't have.
Right.
But at the same time, like, I mean, even before we like worked together and like we were just friends or whatever we were, we actually went to high school together. Like, he's a year below me, but he would like occasionally come to house shows, and you know, like a house show would be like $2, and there'd be like 40 people there, and like there's one touring band on it, and he'd be like, "Oh, how many did this show do?" And I was like, "It was a $2 show, did $40." And then like a band would walk up and be like, "Here's your $80," or maybe somebody didn't pay, and $79, $78, and like he'd be like, "Yo, that's kind of fucked up, man. Like, you should give them like $10 and like at least make something." And I'd be like, "No."
There was a band that I guess they had no better options. They ended up on one of his shows, and I talked to them, and I was like, "Did he? I mean, we did pretty okay on this. Like, did you talk to dude and like see if he can score you like $20 for gas?" I don't know where the fuck they were going next, but $20 is like the least you can do. And they're like, no, we're not asking for shit. You know, we knew we jumped on late or whatever. And I was like, all right, let me go talk to this motherfucker, because they were easily the best band there.
You're talking about distances, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, you going to give them any money? And he's like, I mean, they don't really deserve any. I was like, they're the best band here. They're on tour. None of these all these other bands are like from fucking Norwood. They literally live down the street. Like, you don't need to make $200. Give them $20. And he's like, I mean, no. And I was like, you either give them $20 or I'm going to give them $20 and beat your ass. And he was finally just like, fuck, I don't know why you make such a big deal on it. Like, they begged me to be on the show. Like, they should just be lucky. And I was just like, no, fuck you. They're going to starve to death. Give them $20. And I catch up with him later, and I'm like, you talking to him? He's like, yeah, it's cool. You know, we're set. Thanks for, helping us out. I talked to him later. I was like, so you gave him $20? He's like, I gave him 15. Like, you fucking idiot. Like, you have 3 terrible shows this week. You're going to make like $150 on each one for no fucking reason. You're an asshole.
Right.
But he shouldn't be posting the event page. I can't see it, which is a super
We shouldn't
bummer.
be focusing this much on him.
Yeah. Sorry. Moving on.
Probably like.
Let's get one more topic, and then we'll cut you,
Well,
Jaco.
Everything's sad from this point on. Well, kind of. Okay, so did anybody else see the screenshot of the lady, Linda something or other, her last name was blurred out, who had posted a Facebook update, "I will destroy ISIS."
Yes, I saw that.
I did not
Linda,
see that.
some 40-year-old woman from fucking who cares where, just fucking posted on Facebook, "I will destroy ISIS." Personally.
Well, best of luck, Linda.
Sick.
So Linda, so that's the setup, right? That's funny. She retracted her comment in another update late that came out not too long ago. It said, "I will not destroy ISIS. I'll leave it up to the professionals." I was like, you know what, Linda? you clearly understand your boundaries.
You know your place in this world.
That's an educated.
Why are we up talking Linda so much?
I mean, I believed in her.
I mean, here's the thing for me. Like, you looked at her, I was thinking maybe she's like best friends with Barbara Bush. And considering George H.W. Bush runs ISIS, maybe she was going to
damn
get
it.
him to stop
Don't fucking start this.
having ISIS as be a thing. I thought maybe she was really going to destroy it.
I'm so disappointed. Poor Linda.
I mean, I hate to dash her dreams, but like, clearly she understood that.
Did you guys drive together?
Yeah.
Oh, bummer. So we lose both of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shut up. God damn it. We're going to get off topic. That's what this show is. Yeah, mostly.
I wanted you on it anyways, especially for the Syrian refugees.
I'm just tragically failing.
You're doing fine, I'm sure.
It's okay. You can, since nobody's going to be able to. Yeah, you can take their spot, and then on top of that, this podcast will go places, and you won't need college.
Yeah.
Nobody's
Really gonna
listening
bank on that.
to our podcast.
I mean, I have more and more people every week. Like, when you're going to put out the next podcast. So that's nice.
Well, the last one's 4 fucking hours, so they can chew on that for a couple of days.
Actually, didn't you just post that like less than 4 hours ago?
Yes.
Yeah. Like
They're still chewing, man.
I already had like Dillon and Evan both.
Are they gonna come on like next week?
Yeah, we're still trying to figure out a day.
Awesome.
Let's say goodbye to Jacob and Dillon though.
All right. Do either of you have an opinion on Eagles of Death Metal, the band?
I'd only heard about them after that incident, so I don't know. Like, didn't they used to be in Queens of the Stone Age?
One of them was a founding member of.
Okay, see, I liked them, so I don't know like a whole lot about any of it. I mean, super tragic and such.
Yeah, well, it regards to them as a band, and then the situation outside of that. Quick preface, and a lot of people have seen this video. Some Baptist pastor is freaking out and saying that this band, not that he thought people should be killed, but if you go to a death metal show where you worship the devil, you shouldn't be all that surprised if you die. This is a direct quote.
Point. Actually,
this is a direct quote. He referred to the one of the members of the band as a drug pushing hillbilly faggot.
Damn.
That's
I mean,
one, make that
obviously he didn't do any research because Eagles of Death Metal is a basic rock band.
But they're clearly not gonna. He doesn't give a shit. This is the same man who said that over 50% of the babies conceived in France are aborted. The most retarded statistic I've ever heard in my entire life. Like,
I mean, it's clearly 100%.
obvious.
Dylan, I'm still waiting for your final joke.
Oh yeah.
What's my? Do we have time for one of my jokes, Jacob?
No. His jokes take like 20 minutes.
Like, we'll just have to have you come back on.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely come back. This has been fun.
That'd be great.
Bring another guy.
We'll bring Drew sometime.
So you can make fun of him to his face.
Yeah.
Can we bring 10? I want 10 to like talk on here. Because 10 does this thing where like he doesn't talk much, but when he does, it's always just fucking gold.
So he's like Silent Bob of your group?
Yes.
Do you get the reference?
No.
Fuck.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to replace myself with 10 so you guys have a lot more better of a time on the next show.
I'm sure 10 at least listens to STP.
He listens to a lot more like older metal and shit, so.
One of us is sitting on our Siri button. Not me.
Not me.
Where'd we go?
I don't know.
I think it was you.
Maybe it was. It sounded like British Siri, and that's me.
Okay. Well, we're going to take a break to say goodbye to these boys, and we'll be back in to talk about realistic pastors.
And come to the show January 9th. This is where you promote yourselves.
Come to the show on January 9th.
Come to it.
And get a copy of the EP.
Yeah.
Also, we'll have an EP, so you could get a copy of that.
Years in the making.
Also, the day you're probably listening to this, if you listen to it when it comes out on Saturday, you could see Jugs in
That's true. Fucking Dayton.
If you're listening to this right now, stop listening. Come to Dayton.
It's sort of a really shitty joke, and I'll wait to tell it off the air.
Okay.
All right, sweet. Peace out, microphone.
And we're back. We've
dropped 2, added 1.
Juggernaut boys home, and Makailah has decided to weigh in on some serious topics with us.
Sup?
Yes.
Yes.
What?
I didn't know what to say after
Yes, and back to you, Barbara.
I go between taking
That's the way the cookie crumbles.
I go back and forth
that's
between
the way it was.
taking this seriously and not taking it seriously. So
Okay,
this pastor idiot, like,
let's kill him.
I'm for it.
They don't hate atheists. Well, his people will hate atheists. Well, no, you're Christian, so
Yeah, I'm a Christian.
but
Christians and atheists unite to stomp out terrible people.
he
I
would
love
probably call you a sodomite and say that the tattoos on your head mean you worship the devil.
I mean, he couldn't call me a sodomite. I don't fuck girls in the ass.
Well, he called
Hey.
everybody else sodomizers. Apparently, everybody in Europe is super down on adultery because they did a poll.
Actually, like 40% of French people said that it wasn't that big of a deal to them. Not that they would do it, but that it wasn't, that they didn't see it as like a crazy, outrageous sin that you should be like stoned to death for or something. Which I agree with. I mean, I think it's shitty. I don't think you should ever, cheat on someone or whatever the case may be.
Okay, but there's also plenty of what is considered adultery that's not cheating. You're just banging a bunch of different people. You're never in a relationship with any of them.
Yeah. And I mean, that's just about your own personal body choice, man. Do what you want.
Yeah. So this guy said that if you're a gothic devil worshiper and you listen to death metal music, you worship death, and you should just expect to die at a concert. What he's failed to take into account is that if you've done 5 seconds of research, you'll find that Eagles of Death Metal is not a death metal band.
Mm-hmm.
But he did Google image search them and said that they wear pink women's clothing and they breed.
So does Dave Grohl occasionally.
Yeah.
I'd like for him to say something to Dave Grohl.
Dave Grohl. Dave Grohl could fall off a stage again, break both his legs and both his arms, and he would still murder that dude.
Yeah. But I just love that drug pushing hillbilly faggot.
Where's this guy from? I forget.
I have no idea.
Oh, I thought they said where.
Heartless pastor blame.
Does it say where he's
Victims
from?
of
Like
Paris.
Arizona or somewhere?
Baptist, probably Southern Baptist.
No. There are no white Southern Baptists.
Anyway, he said he did a little bit of research because he found out that dude is pretty candid about his drug use and that he likes crystal meth.
Dude that was there, or Josh Home from Queens of the Stone
It
Age?
wasn't Josh Home, it was the other guy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay, that's all
Arizona, really? Whoever the other guy in the band is the one he was referring to.
Okay. Because, I mean, Josh Home is a worthless piece of shit and fuck Queens of the Stone Age.
Why?
I mean, you'll tell me my reason's stupid, which is fine.
Probably is.
I mean, it is stupid.
He said the fucking words.
Go
Oh
ahead.
my god. Well, you love death so much, you bought the ticket, you love worshiping Satan. Well, let's have some of Satan's religion come in and shoot you. That is official transcript words of what this guy said.
He referred to Islam as the devil's religion.
Satan's religion.
I can't even make words.
Worshipping Satan with this drug pushing hillbilly faggot.
Yep.
Anyways, real quick. The reason I don't like Josh Home from Queens of the Stone Age is because I can't think of her name. I think it's Bailey from the Distillers.
Yeah.
Was married to Tim Armstrong from Rancid, who I enjoy, and you do not.
Right.
And was cheating on him for the last last full year of their marriage with Josh from Queens of the Stone Age. And I never really listened to Queens of the Stone Age before I found that out. And I just thought at the time that was like a really shitty thing. So I just don't like Queens of the Stone Age.
I can't remember her name now. I know it's a really
I thought it was Bailey, but maybe not.
Really weird name. I know there's a B in it. I feel like she has a boy's name.
You know what makes
I
me
mean,
really
Bailey
sad
is a boy's name.
about that guy, about the pastor? He has like 8 kids. And now he's going to raise 8 little bigoted children.
Brody Dale.
That's it.
And that really bothers me.
The fucked up thing is it's not like some guy on public access TV like just making a mess of things. There are people in the crowd.
I mean, technically, he wouldn't be on anything besides Access TV if we didn't have social media.
This is his acclaim. This is his acclaim on their church page. Please let me read this aloud for you.
Wait, is this like their
This is his
mission
biography
statement?
thing.
Oh, okay.
On part of it says, He holds no college degree, but has well over 140 characters of the Bible memorized word for word, including approximately half of the New Testament. That's...
He memorized half of the Revised Bible,
Yes.
and that is equal to a college degree as far as his credentials go.
Yes.
I mean, I could name 16 atheists right now that could
I know.
memorize the entire Bible.
She and Ben could fire back Bible verses all day.
I used to be able to, not anymore.
I mean, they're probably paraphrased slightly, but
Well, yeah, I'm not memorizing that shit.
Well, shit. I mean, like,
Ben could fire
our
back.
translation of it is paraphrased.
I'm going to go back and find it in Hebrew and start really telling people off.
So the thing that also bothered me about that stupid video is that it's not just some guy on TV like being a televangelist lunatic. There are people in the crowd like cheering him on, and like he would say something horrible, and you hear somebody guy in the back go, "Amen." He's like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
They're probably still drunk.
It upset me on a weird level, and like it was like a car accident. Like I couldn't turn it off, but everything he said pissed me off.
The thing is, like, we act like this is some big thing, but I mean, like, there's probably 5,000 churches in America
but
alone that is saying the exact same thing.
I know, but
the lack of compassion is really, really painful as a human being.
and to blame it on because they went to a concert with death metal in the name of the concert.
I mean, I've been literally had holy water thrown at me in my face and condemned for attending Cannibal Corpse at Bogart's when I was 13.
Party hard.
So, I mean,
Reasonable reaction.
it doesn't surprise me. And I mean, I was 13, so I definitely didn't get as angry as I get at stuff now. So I was just like, thanks. I just did the sign of the cross for since nobody can see that. But I mean, like, I remember like kind of arguing with that person and being like, I'm a Christian. Like, who cares? It's just music.
Yeah. It's a big deal in the music community. It's a big deal because he's just not sympathetic at all. And I mean, he prefaces with, I mean, they're murderers and they're terrible people. I'm not condoning murder. He's like, but
Yeah,
they
but he
should
also-
have known what to expect.
He doesn't say, I'm not condoning murder. He says, I am not condoning those Islamic murderers. That is what he says. He does not just call them terrorists. He specifically says Islamic. That's just like when people say Muslim countries. I'm like, I want to punch you in your fucking throat. You're an idiot. You have no idea what you're talking about. There is such a huge difference between Pakistan and Turkey. Like,
Between what?
I fucking hate you.
Pakistan?
Yeah, Pakistan. Let's wind it up for a moment.
Side note, real quick, this
To
thing was
Pakistan?
this thing was going around, and it said, "Find me Syria or France on a map."
I literally just saw one. Okay, but that's the thing. Like, there are a lot of kids, the Juggernaut kids age, that can't tell you where France is.
Do you know where Paris is?
France,
Hmm?
Paris, towards the top
Okay.
right-ish.
I was just curious to know if you knew.
In my head, I saw it a little closer to the middle.
Top right-ish. You can't say, like, northeastern.
Okay, fine. Whatever.
Top rightish, somewhere near the top of the map. Don't. It's fine.
I mean,
World's not round.
I guess if you live in Norway or Sweden, it's maybe, like, not, like, never mind.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
In other related news, French
Military.
intelligence of some sort tipped off Germany that there was going to be an attack on Germany. that they had intercepted a message somehow that said that a van full of explosives was going
It wasn't a van,
what was it?
an ambulance.
A vehicle full of explosives was going to find its way into this, what I believe was a soccer stadium. And they weren't going to try to do it outside. They were absolutely going to be inside, and they were going to make sure that it was a vehicle that they would let inside. So they were looking for news vans, ambulances, and all kinds of other shit. And they intercepted this vehicle before it got inside, and crisis averted. Point is, don't fuck with Germany. Like, had they actually done that, do they really think it's a good idea to fuck with Germany? Like, obviously, World Wars I and II are horrible, just psychotic shit in the name of Germans. And that's not that all Germans are Nazis. They're far removed from that. But there's still something in the German psyche that says, we're the greatest in the world, we're the smartest in the world, and we will innovate and just make shit. Like,
Germans are a minority in Germany right now, though.
it doesn't matter. The German spirit is a strong one. It's
I mean,
one of, I'm gonna fucking do this.
I agree, but and granted, like we were talking about before the podcast, like, and that I actually, maybe you won't make it through it, but maybe when we're done with this, if we get done soon, we can watch that propaganda video together. So I don't know to like displace like fact from fiction, but like Germany has gone and said like, hey, like, accept your Muslim brothers, and if you don't, we're gonna call you a Nazi, and Muslim people are gonna come raid your house.
Yeah, it doesn't sound right.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I couldn't find any like factual information, so I don't know. It is the only factual information I could find out about all of that is like Germany has the lowest birth rate of any country of actual like Germans being born.
Like, people don't breed in Germany?
Like, it's just not working out.
I'm not sure I follow.
Like, people are trying, like, Germans are trying to breed and are breeding, but the birth rate of natural born Germans is like one kid every 3 years. Whereas all the refugees that come in, not even refugees, just
Immigrants in
general, are taking, some of them are Muslim, and they're taking, 2 or 3 or 4 wives, and they're breeding 26 German citizens of not natural German descent.
Okay, I kind of follow.
Yeah,
it's kind of like the Southeast Asian population in the UK.
Yeah.
Well, also because they used to fucking own India, so that's probably how most of that shit started. But they have racial tension there between white folks, the whitest folks, English people, and all these Indian immigrants. But it's going to happen. Either way. My point is...
Yeah, your statistic was super wrong. 92.3% of the total German population, or total population in Germany is German. 90% of them.
That was his...
That was mine.
I thought you just said that it wasn't.
No.
No, I wasn't paying attention.
I just said... Okay. I don't know.
Yeah, but and 80% of them are of no migrant background, which means that they are German-born, German-bred, fucking Germans. That's all they are.
Like I said, we can watch this propaganda video together and see if there's any factual stuff from it.
Videos.
Anyway, my thing was, don't fuck with Germany. They'll invent ways to kill you.
That's not...
No. It's not just about the fucking Holocaust and the crazy inventions made by the Germans. I just mean that it's not even that they're violent people. I'm just saying
I bet you
that
this pastor in Arizona thinks the Holocaust didn't happen.
if you back German people into a corner, they'll get crafty, they'll dig real deep, and they'll fuck your world up. I don't know that they have a strong military. They're they're a financial superpower. Don't they own Greece?
I
Or
thought
Italy,
Turkey
one of
owned-
them?
I thought Turkey owned
Yeah, like,
Greece.
I don't know.
I think that, or do they own Italy?
They bail out They've bailed out.
I mean, technically, China bails us out.
Yeah, but we also gave Japan back Japan.
yeah.
Like, this thing goes around and around and around constantly. Economics as a whole is kind of bullshit, really, because we just decide what money and what everything else is worth.
But like I said, don't fuck with Germany. They'll fuck your shit up.
Yeah,
Okay.
I haven't kept up on what's happening with, I guess, recent terrorists, just because I'm trying to avoid listening to people talk about it
Yeah.
because they suck.
Well, France definitely dropped a couple dozen bombs on an entire city, which is supposed to be the Islamic State capital.
in Syria.
Unfortunately, that of course means
It's
that
not the Islamic State. It's the ISIS capital. In
ISIS
Syria.
isn't a thing.
What do you mean?
It's ISIL now, but it's the fucking Islamic State is the short way to do it. Anyway,
I guess the huge issue that they're having in Germany is that when there are quite a few Germans who went and visited Syria and joined ISIS, and then a good percentage of those people decided to come back home because they didn't want to be a part of it. And so now there's the threat of literally having Germans, just German people, wandering around who were at one point part of ISIS, technically. And you don't really know if they were actually coming back because they wanted to come back, or if they came back because they were told to come back. And it's this whole, do you give them the benefit of the doubt, or...
which is a big concern of people that are anti-accepting refugees in America.
Are we on that topic?
I
Or do
think
we have another topic?
we're
before
getting
that?
there. I guess the somebody had a screenshot. They had a picture, rather. That was a dumb thing to say. They had a picture of the guy who shot up Fort Hood. And I guess he had been through the American military. He was an immigrant, and they're saying this guy clearly was on the inside long enough to be a well-standing member of the military and shot up an army base. So who knows how many people they have just among us and what they're going to do. And unfortunately, their game is one that's really easy to play and really hard to beat. Because what are they going to do? 5 of these people, let's just say there's 5 of them in America, because to say that there's none is ridiculous. They found some kid over on the west side trying to join ISIS like last year and threw his ass in jail forever. Like, my buddy went to high school with him. He knew him. Let's say they got 5 people, and 2 of them live in the same state, and they together decide they're going to build a bomb and blow up Dallas. They're going to blow up the Dallas airport, or they're going to the football stadium or some shit. They're going to blow up a city.
Jerry Jones would blow up the football stadium at this point with how bad they are.
So now we're all terrified. We're pissed. What the fuck are we going to do? Clearly, what are you staring at? Are you staring at the waveforms?
I'm listening. Just keep going.
You're really transfixed by my screen here. Now we're freaked out. Who's the bad guy? Who's the good guy? They're on the inside. What the fuck do we do? But I feel like this shit happens all the time, and the government keeps it quiet so we don't freak out. They probably bust people on a daily basis that are trying to aid and abet enemies of our country. Like,
I mean, yeah, why wouldn't they? They bust us for minor and insignificant shit.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, you mean to tell me that people get cease and desist letters from their internet service provider because they downloaded too much music, and they end up with fines and crazy shit, but they don't know that you're trying to join ISIS? I think they fucking know. You end up on a watch list. I feel like every time you Google ISIS, they are watching you.
Right.
I really don't think the threat is as bad as a lot of paranoid white people think it is. But in the last week, we have seen like the ugliest bit of humanity we've seen in years. Like
So one, yo.
people
I
refusing.
think it's way worse than 01.
That's what I'm saying. He said it's the how people were acting. It's very similar. I had shared with Brandon a story from when 9/11 happened, and this girl that I went to school with who is Muslim, and she stopped wearing her hijab, and her dad shaved off his beard, and
That's somebody you know?
yeah.
Because I read a story like that, but it wasn't
Well,
from you.
she went to St. Anne's with me, and they had terrorists like spray painted across their garage door and had their cars vandalized and had all kinds of shit happen just because they looked what people had decided terrorists looked like. And I was explaining, actually we were talking about this yesterday, that like how disheartening would it be for someone to tell you you couldn't celebrate your own culture, and if you did, that you would be like severely outcast for it, not just like looked down on in a weird way like people do Jehovah's Witnesses or something like that, but literally like fear for your life because you are a specific religion or whatever the case may be.
People are refusing to get into cabs with Middle Eastern drivers. People are attacking anybody of any Muslim descent, anybody of any Islamic faith. They're attacking people who are Sikh. That's a different fucking religion altogether. Like they're like, I know that if you just see somebody who's dark complected with black hair and they look Middle Eastern to you, you don't know the fucking difference. But like I worked in Blue Ash, like I know the fucking difference. There were like 4 different kinds, not kinds, that sounds shitty. 4 distinct like visual cues. Obviously you had your Hasidic and Orthodox Jews. Nobody's really going to mix them up. Their skin's too light. But that's, you know, it's an Eastern religion. That's where fucking Israel is. You had people clearly from India that they looked Indian. And first of all, if any of these shitty racist white people attack somebody who's from India, it's like you not own a fucking map. Like India and Syria could not be any farther apart.
No, but India and Pakistan are right next to each other.
Yeah, but I mean,
and Pakistan's right next to Afghanistan, which is right next to Iran, which is right next to Syria. So it's basically the same thing.
Yeah, but most of the population of India lives at the bottom, and they're really fucking far away. You could, from Syria, I'm not looking at a map right now, but it's probably the same distance to fucking Norway as it is to the capital of India. So you couldn't be farther apart. But Sikh, it's a completely different head dressing. I don't think anybody's worn a turban in America since 2001 because they're horrified of doing so. Like,
I see people with turbans all the time.
I see very few turbans. Like Muslim turbans. The Sikh tie-up thing with the knot on the front. It's. I hate to say this because it's so culturally inept, but it looks more like a do-rag than a turban. It's made of similar material. I don't know. It's probably silk of some sort. But like, people are just attacking anybody who's brown. They're saying horrible shit on Facebook. Like, I understand that it's a complicated issue that we on many levels can't understand, and we're working on whatever information we have. But I can't understand how unreasonable people are to be able to say, you know, Westboro Baptist Church doesn't represent all Christians. But ISIS and Islam is definitely a religion bred on destroying white people. Are you fucking serious? Like, how do people come to these fucking conclusions? I don't get it.
I mean, there are texts in the Quran that talk about defeating anyone that's not a part of that religion. There's also text in the Old Testament that talk about defeating anyone who's not God's chosen people. So
then the fight over who is God's chosen people.
When people quote to me like, it's in their text, it's in their text. Like, they want to kill us all. It's in our texts. Like, obviously not yours, you don't have texts. But I mean,
Dawkins,
most of the people talking shit about Muslims are Christian.
Yeah. Or people who vaguely identify as a Christian because they believe in God, but they don't even go to church.
Okay. I mean, that's fair enough. I would still call that a Christian.
Well, yeah, they're technically Christians, but they're not active Christians. Like, if you just pick a random person off the street.
I don't go to a church. Am I not an active Christian?
You're a really, really weird kind of Christian. Not for not going to church, but because we've had this conversation that you fall more heavily idealistically into spiritual than Christian. Because the religious dogma and the structure of the whole thing drives you nuts.
And I mean, I think there's a lot more people like me than you realize.
No, I think there are very many. Yes. But I'd say the average person, they'll go, Christian, Catholic, something like that. You know, I believe in God or whatever. But I don't spend a ton of time on God. But then you ask them, like, do you think brown people are opposing your God with their God? They'd be like, yeah, I'm a fucking Christian. It's like, when's the last time you cracked open a Bible?
We have the same fucking God.
Well, the part that I don't understand is when they're like, Islam or the Quran is inherently violent. The whatever is inherently violent. It's all about murdering and terrorism and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, hold up.
Do you remember Old Testament
Let's reverse back to like the year 315 when Christianity was legalized, and they literally the first thing that they did as legal Christians was go burn down pagan churches and murder pagan priests. Yeah, that's not a religion steeped in violence and hatred and bigotry. No, not Christianity. Get the fuck out.
God murdered children and sent plagues to the earth and to teach lessons and things or whatever, fine. But like, all old religion is violent consequences.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. Christianity has killed literally everyone. They've killed pagans, they've killed the Spanish, they've killed the German, they've killed native peoples in almost every land. They have killed the Jews, they have killed They have killed people of Middle Eastern descent. They have killed fucking everyone.
Okay, but they've also been killed by those same people.
Yeah, but most of the times they started it.
In which way? Because this is one where I'll actually argue.
Oh, this is going to be good.
What?
This is going to be fucking great.
Stop sitting over there like you're excited.
No, I am. I'm stoked on this conversation.
Who killed your native people?
What do you mean, who killed my native people? I didn't say it had to start with just natives of America because we aren't the only native peoples.
So we brought a war force over to take the land from your native peoples. And I guarantee you about 40 to 50% of those were Christian and 50% of them were not.
Yeah, but they were here. They were here to propagate Christianity.
No, they were here to propagate freedom of religion.
They were absolute. Columbus stepped foot.
Columbus was not a Christian.
He fucking was.
No, he was not.
He was it doesn't matter. He was flying the flag of Christianity. It doesn't fucking matter what he was.
That's what Spain was.
Yeah. Guess what? Who pays your pockets decides what you do. They were here to fucking propagate Christianity, turn people into Christians, and then fuck over all of their land and destroy their people. Anyone who did not agree with them was going to be slain. Columbus himself being religious has nothing to do with it. He was defending Christianity.
No, he was doing a job.
With a Christian title. Through a Christian king and queen.
Through a Christian king and queen, but he was not a Christian.
Doesn't matter. He was bringing over Christians and then forcing Christianity onto people. Absolutely. It doesn't matter if he believed it or not. That's what he was doing.
He was just, it's what we argued about, me and you argued with Brandon the other day. He didn't come over here to force his Christian beliefs or the Christian beliefs of his king and queen on anyone. He came over here to take land and take power. It has nothing to do with religion.
It absolutely does have something to do with
the
religion.
only thing that the Christians started and caused was they all read the Bible for 800 years and go, oh, hey, we're the chosen people of God now. We're going to go back to our promised land and take it back from these heathens.
Do you know what you're talking about at all? Have you read any of? Have you read?
I was a history major.
Have you read any of Columbus's actual journal entries? Any of the
considering
things
the fact
that he did?
he couldn't actually write himself.
It doesn't matter if he was writing himself. God didn't write the Bible himself.
And
so,
I don't believe in the Bible.
It doesn't matter. I'm just saying there are multiple accounts of every single Caribbean island, every single piece of land that Columbus stepped foot on. He left a cross down saying, these people are required to believe this in the name of Spain and the name of the king and the queen. Doesn't fucking matter if he believed it. He was there to propagate Christianity.
He was there to claim islands for Spain, power and land.
Nope.
Yes.
Well, okay, fine. If you want to call power, absolutely. The power in Christianity, the power to convince people that these two people were appointed by God to rule their country, and now they are coming to save you from the heathens that you are. Absolutely, fine. I'll give you power, but it was power in the name of Christianity.
No, Christianity is the negative that people of that time thought they were better than other people. And that was because they were simple-minded of that time.
Man, I'm telling you.
Same with Muslims of the time of the Crusades. Had to do with the fact that both sides, Christian and Muslims, acted like they wanted their Holy Land back. When it was really just, this is our land, we were here. This was our land, our ancestors' lands hundreds of years ago. We want it back.
I don't get where you're going with tying that into what Columbus did and Christianity with native people. That's a weird segue.
Okay. Well, I'll have to rethink about how to restate it to make it understandable.
It's not that I don't understand. I don't understand where it ties into the.
It ties into what me and you talked about last week. Is like everyone can act like the reason they start a war is over a religious thing when it's really just over land and power.
Yeah, but it's in the name of it. That's the problem.
Okay, but in the name of doesn't mean it's an actual Christian belief system.
Well, it was.
It's in the name of this king and queen who obviously aren't being real Christians.
But that's what they thought they were being. They thought they were.
No, they were just using that as a higher power.
The king absolutely believed that's part of his system up until obviously King Henry, who declared himself the king of England and denounced the Catholic Church.
But I mean, the king and queen of Spain were at a separate time. We're at a time where the Pope was supposed to be the number one all power.
Yeah, I know.
In Christianity,
and he appointed the king because the king was appointed by
Spain?
God. Yes.
I don't think that's right.
Yeah, the Pope appointed the kings of almost every country that had anything to do with Catholicism.
That had to do with Catholicism. The Pope appointed kings.
He agreed if they were actually appointed by God.
Okay, I'll have to look that one up.
That's how the big tussle between Henry VIII and I don't remember what Pope asshole was in office. I guess it's technically in office.
In papacy.
Papacy?
Yeah.
I mean, that whole thing was because King Henry VIII wanted to kill his wives and be like, you can annul this in Rome. And the king's like, or the Pope's like, you can't just keep killing them.
Yeah.
You can't just do this. And he's like, well, fuck you. You're wrong. God told me I could kill him.
Oh, I know. What I'm just saying is that he decided that he wasn't appointed by the Catholic God. He was his own king. And
I guess the point is, in my opinion, everyone that acted like they were listening to a faith were listening to a government instead of a faith. Is I guess what I'm trying to say.
People since the first second of the advent of religion have been using it to take advantage.
Well, the first advent of religion is since the day mankind became mankind.
Well, that's really difficult to say when mankind was, because we have pre-evolutionary man. Who knows if they understood, if they had the concept of language, whatever. Anyway.
I mean, they probably still looked at the sun and thought it was a god.
Yeah, probably. Point is, ever since the idea of an organized religious system of any sort, it was immediately to take advantage. Circling back to the point we were actually on, I feel like most religions based off of the Quran, Old Testament, whatever, have violence built in. Like Buddhism doesn't. That's really it. Like,
how old's Buddhism? I know you know.
I actually don't know when Buddhism was.
Which came first? Hinduism, right? Buddhism is offshoots of Hinduism. Because I think Buddhism is pretty young.
Yeah, no, I mean, Buddhism was like 6th or 7th BCE.
Really? I was thinking it was like 6th or 7th AD.
I'm pretty sure it's BCE. Almost sure. But I don't know if Hinduism came first or not, but
I'm pretty sure that Buddhism is an offshoot of Hinduism.
Anyway, just somebody posted something the other day, it's a cartoon, and it brought me to the point. Many religions are inherently violent. You cannot call one inherently violent without seeing the violence inherent in others. And it's completely ridiculous. Yes, in the Quran, it uses the word jihad. It uses a sort of mentality of whatever it takes to accomplish this and this. But that stuff's super present in the English white people Bible just as much. Like, so one's not worse than the other. Let's just make that shit perfectly fucking clear.
No, the only thing that anyone, in my opinion, can say about that is the Old Testament, the way Christian faith is in this day and age. The Old Testament is supposed to be a history of Judaism and Christianity. And the New Testament is supposed to be the actual way you live your life in that faith. So everything shitty and violent that happens in the Old Testament is supposed to be something of the past, which a lot of Christians don't accept, but it's supposed to be something of the past that Jesus came and saved us from having to deal with that kind of stuff anymore.
Yeah.
Because he is forgiveness.
So the question is, while we're pretty well pointing out that a lot of people who claim to be Christians, even people who call themselves pro-life, which is funny, are all of a sudden having a severe lack of compassion to a group of people who their death is imminent.
If they stay where they are, their death is imminent.
Yeah. Yeah. And if they don't run far enough away, their death is imminent. Like, they're in serious fucking trouble, and people want to divert away. Well, what about the problems we have here? Yes, also the problems we have here. But let me tell you this. People who are uncomfortable come way, way after hundreds of thousands of people who will soon be murdered if somebody doesn't fucking do something about it. Like, people actually got mad. Oh, so we're just going to forget about what happened in Missouri? No, motherfucker, we're not going to forget about what happened in Missouri. But can't you see that these people are literally being round up and shot to death in the street in front of their children? Like, you don't think that's worse?
I was actually talking about this with a friend of mine who is from the UK, and so he has very different viewpoints on a lot of things because he's never had to deal with like American patriotism and the whole shebang. It's never been like pushed into his head or anything, and he's just like, I can't believe that some of these people are saying, hey, pay attention to me, my cause is more important than the people who have died in Beirut and Paris over the past day and a half. Like, what kind of fucked up world do you live in where your struggle has to supersede someone else's? And, oh crap. You said something and it made me think of what he said, and now I can't think of it. Damn it.
Okay, so
Which part?
That's a good question. I don't know. Can you remember?
I'm
Lack
sure
of compassion.
I'm sure it'll come. I'm sure, honestly, it'll come back to you. What I want to know, while Brandon snaps this picture,
My cat's being cute.
is I'm going to guess that the three of us are all. Well, Brandon said he doesn't know exactly but I'm guessing me and you are on similar wavelengths about refugees.
That we should allow them?
Yes.
Okay. Absolutely.
Like I said, I've not put enough real thought into all of the issues at hand because it's not as simple as some people would like it to be.
Okay, but look, here's the thing. Everyone keeps saying, we're going to let terrorists in. Dude, they're already fucking here.
Yeah.
Our government is a terrorist, as it starts out with. And from there, they're already here. If they want to be here, they're already fucking here. There's no, oh, well, if we don't let the Syrian refugees in, the people who are dying, then we're not going to have terrorists. Fuck you. We're going to have terrorists either way. And if not, then they're just going to pull another 9/11. It's not like that can't happen again. So get out of your own fucking head and try to do some goddamn good before you just let this idea of what someone is completely just decide for you.
There's several points I just want to make as quickly as I can, and then also ask a couple questions.
Before I forget
Okay,
one
go
teeny thing, do you really think that this was the people who were like, oh, you're just going to let 10,000 terrorists walk in? Well, first of all, that's a really narrow-minded thing to say. And also, do you think this was their game plan? We'll kill so many people that somebody else wants to help and then just move the army into their backyard. Are you fucking kidding me? These people are running for their lives.
Here's the other thing with that.
You're going to sneak in what? Maybe, if this is even part of the plan, a small percentage. Big fucking deal. It's no worse than what's here already.
Here's the thing. To be a refugee and come here, you have to go through a 2-year program. Why, if you're a terrorist, would you go through a 2-year program where you may or may not get caught? If you can literally just spend $150 and fly illegally into this country and make it. You can fly to Cuba and then you can fly here illegally and land on some stupid fucking airport in Florida like all the other illegal people that fly in and out of this country every fucking day. Or boat in and out of this country. Or fly into Mexico and drive in and out of this country. Or Canada or anywhere else. But one of my biggest points and one of the things that's frustrating to me, 2 big things. 1, everyone that gives me the excuse, we don't take care of our homeless. We don't take care of our veterans. You know what, motherfucker? You didn't give 2 shits about them last week, and you're using it as a goddamn excuse.
I have watched so many people walk past a homeless person and just look at them and go, ugh, they should get their life together. Why would you give somebody like that money? Why would you do this?
Nobody's trying to kill them.
Like, fuck you, assholes. You're hypocritical.
My second big point, which is what I got in an argument with Jard about today.
This is already great.
And multiple other people. Everybody wants to use this grapes analogy or this M&M's analogy. If you have a bowl,
thing.
What? Yeah, if you have a bowl of 100 M&M's and somebody tells you 3 of them have poison on them, are you going to stick your hand in and eat? Look, one, food and people are never something to compare.
If somebody holds a gun to your head and says, "Start eating M&Ms, motherfucker," you're gonna take your chances.
Two, this is my opinion, and I get that some people don't agree with me because my dad somewhat agrees with me, and my mother does not agree with me because I had this conversation with them. Two, if there's 10,000 people, say 10,000 refugees, the ones that just hit New Orleans, and somebody told me, like literally said, like, we absolutely know that 10 of these 10,000 refugees are terrorists that came in. Okay, let all 10,000 in. You're still saving 9,990 lives. Go fuck yourself if you think that is wrong.
Also, I like how people just think, well, if you let a terrorist into our country, they'll just blow up the Pentagon. It's not that fucking easy. Like, they fail so much more often than they succeed.
If they wanted to blow up the Pentagon, they would have just blown up the fucking Pentagon.
Like, let's talk about how they succeed in Syria. Because those people have no fucking military. They have no background.
Well, there's 4 separate militaries fighting 4 separate wars.
Yeah. But if a small ISIS group rolls into a town somewhere in Syria, Iraq, whatever, and just starts waving that flag around and screaming at people, saying that you're going to join us, and they go,
or we'll kill you.
Or no, then they pull out the fucking fully autos and just mow down this entire. Nobody in the back's going, they keep waving that flag around, we're going to get our guns and fight back. They can't fucking fight back. Look at those shoes and rocks and shit. They're not armed. They're not a people like we are who love our fucking Second Amendment. I would say if you round me up 10 people right now, 10 people, not 10 people on this block because that'll skew the statistics, but you find me.
That'll be 9 out of 10.
You find me, pick 10 people in America, 10 random people in America, and you say, do you know what a gun is? Yes. Almost all of them. I'm sure every single time. Do you know what a gun is? Could you identify a gun if you saw one? I'd say the answer is mostly yes. Have you ever held a gun? Okay. Now we're getting into a slightly smaller number. Have you ever fired a gun?
You think that's slightly smaller?
It's getting a little smaller compared to people who have ever seen a gun.
I'm telling you, it's going to be 9.2 out of 10. Have you ever fired a gun? It's going to be 8.5 out of 10.
This is the point I'm making. I would say the majority of American citizens that are old enough to be anywhere near a gun, and hell, some people are probably way too young and still able, have at least seen and understand how a fucking gun works.
I don't believe in guns, and I've held and fired guns.
Exactly. So the idea that they're like, well, they're just gonna fucking march into a name city here and start blasting people. Well, if that's gonna happen, it's gonna fucking happen. That has happened. The DC sniper fucking happened. Are you shitting me? Like, this shit happens in America already, but now you're pissed because it's gonna be brown people.
See, that's the thing, though. I don't like that's.
But they're not gonna fucking get very far.
But the DC sniper and the sniper here in Columbus were both Muslim, and that's why people were like, "They're already fucking here."
Okay, what about the?
I thought the DC sniper was black.
No, but yeah, he was black, but he was a Muslim.
Oh, well, I don't think he was doing it for the name of Islam.
I mean, he wasn't. He was doing it because he was crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
But okay, here's the difference. You attack a nightclub full of people in France. Not like, I'm not trying to diminish the amount of casualties because it was a horrible loss for humanity.
I mean, it was the worst in France since World War II.
But holy shit, could that have been worse? Like, there was probably a couple hundred people there.
Well, I mean, at the same time,
they could have cut every last one of them down.
I mean, at the same time, I mean, I don't like using that because, I mean, like, I've heard plenty of people like 9/11, that could have been way worse.
Point is,
Vietnam War, that could have been way worse.
Point is,
Civil War.
They, with a bigger force, they could have taken out a whole lot more people, And the French weren't fucking prepared. They're not paranoid like America.
Because they're all committing adultery and getting high.
But
That was
like,
a joke.
yeah. So let's say someone starts waving their black flag around and they're fucking 3 dudes roll into somewhere with fully automatic weapons. I don't think percentage wise they're going to be as successful in America because people are fucking paranoid, and that paranoia is causing just mayhem on a social level.
Yeah, I'm not gonna have any friends by the time this is over.
Yeah. but I mean,
I don't want any friends that think that way, honestly.
I mean,
I don't think it's gonna work. Say your 3 in 10,000 come through, and your 3 in 10,000 decide that they're gonna roll into a fucking assembly of some sort of a sports thing, or God knows what. I don't think they're gonna get, like, it's not gonna work. We're a heavily armed group of people in general who are paranoid and crazy,
Yeah.
and apparently full of hate. Like, what are these people so fucking worried about?
I don't know. One of the things that I heard today that actually super pissed me off was like some girl posted and was like, I think they should be allowed here. I just don't think they should be allowed here now. You know, maybe in 2 years when like
They're all dead.
terrorism calms down. 1, they're all dead. 2, since World War II, terrorism has never calmed down, and probably
Yeah.
before that.
Like, what? Terrorism calms down. You don't just. This is why I
There's
hate,
so many people out there that literally think there hasn't been a terrorist attack since 9/11.
I know. This is why I hate, like, the idea of America's wars on whatever are war on terrorism and war on drugs and war on fucking war. Like, we're just we're the worst about that, and it puts this idea across that there is no other that anywhere. Like, oh, we're the only one who has the war on this. Obviously, we're the only ones who care, and the only things that we highlight are the only times that terrorism exists. It's like, you know that, like, people have been dying in Syria for the past like 4 fucking years, right? Like, this isn't news. This isn't something new.
And I mean, like, everybody that's like, oh my god, look, France bombed Syria. We're about to start World War III. Hell yeah, brother. Blah, 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 blah. Dude, World War III has been happening since before World War I. Everyone is involved in the Middle East. That has been a war forever.
No, it's just been a big setup for a media plan, really.
I've posted it 3 times. I had a bunch of very right-wing people tell me I was fucking retarded today.
That's when you know that you have a decent opinion.
I have a couple addresses that I may or may not drive to.
Hey, let's just broadcast them.
But
Do I need to go buy a bat?
no.
Damn.
Why? Dude, Dillon could have gone to their house with no weapons and beat the crap out of these kids. They're kids.
I know, but
They
the
don't
bat's,
listen to STP. They're not tough.
the bat's super intimidating.
Anyways,
I just like being the guy who smacks the bat. In his hand.
everyone's like blah 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 blah. And I said something on Holly's page about like come up with a plan. She's like, stop being a twat. And I was like, I'm not no, whatever. I don't care. Anyways, and I think that's where that propaganda video is on that page. So hopefully I'll be able to find it when we're done here. I actually did the math and looked at as much factual information as I could find. 63.8% of land in Montana is government owned.
Yep.
If you took 20% of that land and 2% of the money that we spend on military a month, which is $4.5 billion a month, you could build enough homes, clothe, and feed every homeless person in America and up to 200,000 refugees are immigrants.
But we don't want to fix things.
We don't. Because fixing something like that takes money away from our government. And that's just in real time. If you actually had something like that, the government would say, hey, you have to come build, like, they'd hire the top bidding company to come build those homes. And even though it technically only costs the company $5,000 to build the home, and in a real life situation where things would be awesome, they'd be like, okay, it's going to cost me $10,000 to build this home. It's the government, and they give them fat contracts, which they've been doing for years, military and everything else. FEMA is basically a fat contract, and they'd be like, oh, it only costs us $5,000 to build this home. Every home we're building, it's going to cost you $100,000.
Yeah.
We don't want to fix anything.
No. Here was my perspective, and Makailah and I spoke on this a little bit last night. I have not weighed all the facts. There is only 2% of my head that is concerned with, I mean, we could potentially let more of the problem in, because that is possible. Nobody's going to say it's not possible. Is it a real fucking problem? Not super.
It's probably 2%.
Is it?
The 2% in your brain is the amount of problem that it could be.
Is it worth the risk?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
probably, for the sake of
other
humanity.
Human beings. And on top of that,
They're not
I'm
livestock.
literally
Like,
what?
they're not livestock.
I'm so fucking fed up with borders. Like I had the argument earlier today. Like, literally straight up. I was like, they're not Americans. Why should we help them? I don't know. Maybe I'll stop, giving to help homeless people from Dayton because they're not Cincinnatians. And why the fuck should I help them?
You're not even
invisible.
American. Get out.
Fucking lines. Shut the fuck up. You either enjoy other humans or you don't. And if you don't enjoy other humans, then don't sit on fucking social media and act like I love everyone that's here in America, but no one that's not.
Good Christian souls, Americans. Here was my thing about it too. I was like, I don't know. I don't know the plan for bringing people here. I know they can build housing, there's space. Who's going to pay for it? They can create jobs in the process. Yeah, but like that's a lot of details to work out that I'm sure people are working on. But it seems to make more sense to me to find a place on their own continent that's less far away that we can help them.
I saw somebody post about this.
That we can help them, first of all, stay safe and build these homes and stuff. Because, it seems easier for us to throw some money and some people and some supplies at setting this up, I don't know, in Europe, Africa, somewhere, as opposed to flying them all the way the fuck over here.
Okay.
Building somewhere for them to live, supporting them, because that's the right thing to do. And then at some point, fucking flying them back or trying to go through the loopholes to make them American citizens and all this shit. It seems like a lot of work.
Refugees start citizenship process the second they come to America.
Doesn't it seem easier if there was like somewhere in Northern Africa that we knew was relatively safe? Just be like, hey, look, we have an outpost.
Nowhere in Northern Africa that is relatively safe.
Well, I don't know. I don't read the news. I'm just saying.
And Syria will never be safe to go back to. Ever. Unless we actually go in there and literally take 155% control.
Well, I mean, we kind of did it in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Yeah, but we still bailed. We still left. We still trained and then left.
Yeah.
So unless we're going to be
the world police,
the Germans, as they were as the Nazis, where we actually go, we know what's good for the rest of the world, and we're the only ones that do, so we're going to take over the whole world.
Side note, where the fuck is the UN right now? Isn't that like their job?
The UN and technically what we consider our allies are actually two separate entities.
No, but I know that Syria is probably not a member of the United Nations, but like, isn't that the point of the UN is to like settle world disputes?
Yeah. Originally.
Border things and deal with crises.
But I mean, honestly, the UN is there to give a fake sense of democracy to non-democratic countries.
Yeah. Anyway, my point was there's got to be somewhere more economical to move people than across the fucking Atlantic Ocean.
I mean, yes and no, because I mean, Germany's let in 1.5 million refugees in the last 4 years so Germany doesn't have any room left. France is running and honestly, I don't know that for sure. I mean, maybe there's a big pocket of Germany that's the size of what I'm talking about in Montana. I don't really know. I'm not German.
You're good at geography. Germany in relation to a United State.
Like size?
Yeah.
Texas.
So sizable.
Sizable, but I mean, Germany's population is huge.
Germany, you have to. That's an entire country is the size of one of our states.
Yeah.
One of our states. Repeat that back to yourself.
I mean, why don't we just put a bunch of people in Alaska?
Or Canada.
Or that was my other point.
Canada is not. That's the thing. We can't tell Canada, hey, we're going to be shitty and say, hey, we can't put these people here. But
no. Work with Canada. Let's look at this. If we're talking about, look at this. Can somebody come look at this? Look at this. If we're going to talk about, I was doing it for her. If we're going to talk about a place that has plenty of room for inhabitants, holy shit. Only like 10% of Canada has people living anywhere near it. Well, because obviously the top like 30% is fucking uninhabitable.
It's more than 10%.
But there's plenty of room. There's also, from what I understand,
room in fucking the United States.
Yeah, but we have financial problems and homeless shit.
So does Canada.
Yeah, but I think their shit's more together than ours. They have universal health care and stuff. They're more open to helping their citizens. Canada has no real known enemies. Of course, they'd make enemies in this case, but if they have to come to North America, I feel like Canada's a much safer bet.
I don't know. I mean,
it's not like I was saying. I'm not saying I don't want them here. I'm saying the details of it all seem rather complicated, like a lot of us could not even imagine, and I'm 100% for helping these people. I just feel like there might be a better solution than us trying to play Big Brother and swoop in and try to fix everything.
Here's a couple of...
What about Russia?
What about Russia?
Shitloads of Russia is super sparsely populated. Obviously, people who are used to whatever you consider Middle Eastern climate... I know
Russia's a lot colder than Middle Eastern climate.
I know it's as far as like distance from
Canada
the equator and
Alaska,
shit.
Though.
Yeah,
but
there's plenty of room in Russia, and Russia's not taking shit from ISIS right now. They probably don't want to let a bunch of people in because they're all Russian and shit. But like, that's like one of the biggest countries in the world.
Here's one thing I will say: if I was a Syrian refugee, not a part of ISIS, obviously, if I was just a Syrian refugee and I moved to Russia. And there is 100,000 of us that moved to Russia. And we sat in Russia and we got comfortable. And, you know, like we were living in a refugee camp or everything. And then we started like looking into things and thinking about like, oh, we lost our homes because of the fucking country we're living in.
Wait, what do you mean because of Russia?
Russia backs Assad. And the only reason there's war in Syria is because Assad is a piece of shit.
Like, I'm not digging into details that I don't know.
Assad runs Syria. He is the dictator in Syria, and Russia backs him.
I'm just saying, as far as people and where to put them, I don't feel like
there's no real answer. There's really no answer.
Well, no, it's a horrible thing to have to figure out. But I don't think across an ocean is the smartest way to go. It seems like a lot of fucking work.
Okay, here's 3 points on that real quick. One, a lot of people want to come to America because it's still the new land to a lot of them.
Right.
2, it's really fucking stupid that we've spent the last 2 years to get the 10,000 refugees that just hit New Orleans. And then now, as soon as they get here, we go, oh, they're not allowed in these 36 out of 50 states.
Wait. They sent them to New Orleans?
Yeah.
A place that's hardly even inhabited by Americans anymore because it's such a wasteland?
Yeah.
That's a fucking shitty place to
Well,
throw
I mean,
them.
that's just where they come in. And then they're
Okay.
supposed to be filtered to other states.
I was going to say, here, have this. A hurricane turned it inside out. You'll feel right at home.
Well, I mean, the point is that FEMA had basically New Orleans refugee camps when Katrina hit, and now there's refugee camps for actual refugees.
Yeah.
But here's the other big thing is everybody's against refugees this week. Since 9/11, we've allowed 865,000 refugees from the Middle East and Africa to become citizens in our country.
Which is like nothing of the percentage of people. There are like 4 million Syrian refugees, something like that.
I'm just saying, like,
I don't know, but I'm saying like that's something that people don't understand though. It's not that the countries around them aren't helping. I mean, there are people in Jordan and Lebanon and fucking Turkey and Egypt and Libya and Africa and anywhere that they can go.
anywhere that they're not getting shot at.
Yeah.
You know who's not going to shoot at them? Canadians.
It's because Canadians don't have guns.
They have plenty of guns. They used them to kill the bears and the elk and the moose.
Shut the fuck up.
Man, fuck that. I'm going to go to Canada and kill all them motherfuckers killing my moose.
Anyway,
Right?
point is, there's plenty of room in Canada. They probably don't have the homeless problem that we do.
They do.
Really? Is it as bad as people around here perceive it to be?
I mean, per capita of people in Canada, it's about equal.
Seems like there's a lot more land around.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's still like, you can't just like, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I mean, I guess technically you could, but I mean, like, why can't you tell homeless people to do that here? Like, why can't you tell homeless people, like, man, just go live in the woods and build a tree house and shit you used to fucking do? Because basically, if you're talking about land in Canada, then wouldn't that be the same thing?
No. I'm talking about us helping wherever we can think to put these people to build camps, to build housing, to put all this together.
But see, that's also the other thing about the whole situation where I also go against everything I just said. Because once you build camps and once you build housing, what's the difference between that and literally building a ghetto for these people to lay stagnant in?
Unfortunately, that's what you have to do.
Which is why there is no answer.
Right. It is such a
But I definitely think
difficult
we should
problem.
help the 10,000 that are already here.
Yeah.
Except for we have so many buildings and shit already built. It's not like they have to go be in a ghetto.
I agree. Like, take one building in Northside, like south of Northside, right now. I guarantee you can put 5,000 people in one of those buildings. If you actually upped it to like standards and put a couple more bathrooms in there. Like, seriously.
Yeah, I think with the amount of homes that are foreclosed upon in America.
Oh, no. You can't bring that up.
Why?
Because big banks will tell you to fuck off, that you're going to pay for their fucking homes, that they lost money to the scumbags that they charge really high interest rates to.
I'm just saying there's abandoned homes everywhere, and it shouldn't be too hard. Hell, send them all to Detroit. What's the worst that could happen? Is it going to get worse? I don't fucking think so. They'll probably rebuild Detroit. Take a place totally in the shitter.
Do you have anything else
Yeah,
to
but
say about
that's
this, Makailah?
I just want to correct you on the Canadian thing.
Correct me? On what?
Only 1% of the Canadian population.
What's our percentage?
Like 7 or 9 or something.
I'm just
Wait.
saying.
There's more homeless people in America than unemployed? Because the unemployment
Yeah.
rate right now is 7.8%.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm pretty sure. Or they're roughly the same. But there's only 1% of Canadians are homeless. I think it's like 200,000 people, which I know sounds like a lot, but when you think about the entire population of a country, really not that much. I mean, that's how many Syrians like have died. So
here's also the one thing that I have to say about homelessness in the United States, because I've seen it.
Don't we have different like technical rules though for what's considered homeless?
Yeah.
There are people who have cars and jobs and can't afford a house. They're technically homeless.
There's also people that live with family members, but their family members can't claim they live in that house.
Yeah.
And they are considered homeless.
They're considered homeless.
And I can name 15 people right now that are in that situation that aren't
crazy.
homeless, but to the government, they're homeless. And that's just between Cincinnati and Dayton.
And that's
And just 15 people I know.
Yeah.
And then there's people who are unemployed who aren't actually unemployed.
Well,
people who draw unemployment because they don't want to work.
The only-
there's
People
all
that
kinds
draw
of
unemployment
factors.
and work
okay,
under the
we're
table
totally
so they
getting
can
off
make.
topic.
But I'm saying those statistics, it could be all kinds of fucking.
Yeah.
But I guarantee there's more room. There's more potential labor. There's 1,000%
It also
more
depends on
benefit.
what you also brought up, though, is how much of Canada is uninhabitable. How much would also think about moving someone from as warm as the Middle East is, and how the cold might actually kill them.
And you also have to keep in mind of that
Bacteria.
if there aren't
That's going to happen anywhere.
if they aren't inhabited areas of Canada yet, then that means building, which means building costs, which means money spent, which a lot
You
of
have to run irrigation and electric.
yeah, a lot of countries aren't just going to fund out of pocket simply to just do it.
I just feel like even the bottom of Canada, where all the good shit is still so sparsely populated.
Well, I
in
mean, not if
comparison.
they have a homeless population of like nothing, then probably not.
Okay, but here's the thing about homeless people. It's not that we don't have room for the homeless people. It's not that we don't have homes to put them in. It's that they can't afford homes and we don't let them have
why
them.
In Canada, that's probably why they have a low homeless population, because they do put them in homes. And outside of that, the only other thing about this that I've heard people talk about is they're like, what about the economic effects of letting Syrians into our country and whatever? And Germany has one of the lowest homeless populations in the world, one of the best economies, one of the best like employment rates. That's what I was thinking of. Employment rates in the world. I think they have like I don't know, their unemployment rate is incredibly low. It's outrageous.
It's like 12 people.
in the whole country, 12 people. And that has to include the refugees that they've let in. That's part of their population now. So it's not destroying Germany. I mean, sure, fine, they're probably better off than we are, but it's not destroying them. They're not seeing like some kind of crazy economic downturn because they allowed refugees into their country. So I can't see a negative that isn't already present here.
Is there anywhere in Central or South America that's just totally in the shitter?
Oh yeah, let's send them down to the drug lords and
Yeah, drug lords will hire them just as quick as ISIS. Hey, come deal my drugs or I'll kill you.
I didn't say to send him to fucking Guadalajara.
That's not a country.
That was a part of Mexico, asshole.
What?
Guadalajara.
I've never heard of
It's
it.
a really shitty part of Mexico.
It is. Yeah, but yeah,
Fuck,
you can't-
uncultured swine.
you
I mean,
can't
we
just
could
send-
fucking destroy our futures and just cut out the rainforest and put them all there.
Okay, Brazil's not a good spot. It's largely uninhabited, and
there are a lot of issues in South America.
yeah, in
Like,
Brazil and stuff like that.
a lot.
But I'm talking about the other side.
Chile?
and send them to fucking,
Argentina and
Costa
shit.
Rica and stuff.
Argentina is the same
talking
side
about?
as Brazil. Brazil, Argentina.
Is it?
Chile is over here.
Yeah, Chile and Peru are over here.
Yeah.
Chile and Peru. Brazil and Argentina.
Yeah, okay, I got this mixed up. I'm pretty sure even
You, whatever you
Argentina.
just called me swine.
I'm pretty sure Argentina's got room.
Honestly, I think that's.
I mean, that's the thing, though. How are we telling everyone
Yeah,
else?
you can't just be like, "Hey, we're
Hey, man,
America.
you got
fuck
room.
you."
I'm not fucking taking these fucks.
I'm saying to coordinate with these countries.
Could you
We
imagine
already coordinate with
the
France and Germany to help them take in what
Could
they
you
take
imagine
in.
trying to take Syrian people and put them in a Latin American country?
Actually, I think it would work because they all like soccer.
I don't think. Well, okay, fine. Football might work for them. And yes, it's
Soccer.
fucking
Soccer.
football. I hate both of you.
Fuck
it's football.
you.
It was around
American
first.
football is the
Football.
only sport
Norte
worth a
Americano
shit.
football.
Fuck soccer. Honestly, I think we should just kill every soccer player ever
Oh my god.
and let all the Syrian refugees take their places.
No, but no,
That's stupid.
no.
Dude, I've heard like some of those. Like
Shane
that.
Long exists, and you can't just go.
Who's Shane Long? That sounds like a Mortal Kombat character.
No, Shane Long is an
Shane Long.
Shane Long is
thought you
an
said Shane.
Irish football player, and
Soccer
Lord
player?
have mercy.
Soccer
Isn't there
player?
plenty of room in Australia?
No.
Yeah, the last time that really worked out well.
There's not though. Like, hey, let's build these camps.
Most of
Oh shit, we just put 30,000 people here. We came back a week later and there's
They were
4
eating
left.
five.
They were all eating.
I'm just trying to
What's
think
that?
of.
What was that fucking city that disappeared in Virginia? What did it say? I can't remember. Do you remember what I'm talking about though?
No.
They just all fucking disappeared.
I don't know what you're talking about.
God, I gotta look that up.
All of a sudden, just you come back to this little town that you built for refugees, and they've all been eaten by the same giant fucking snake. Welcome to Australia.
Spiders fucking.
Yeah,
kill
fuck
people.
that. If they were like, "Hey, we're gonna send you to the middle of Australia," that's not been Have you ever looked at like the light graph of Australia and
Yeah.
how it's only this part?
Yeah.
Like here, a little bit here, and a
Even
little
the
bit
even the top coast, the top like the northwest coast is still pretty sparse.
yeah, that most of Australia is sparse.
I got it.
You got it.
Green-
South Africa,
Greenland.
Greenland.
Ain't nobody there.
There's all fucking ice.
Roanoke.
Oh yeah,
What about Roanoke?
Virginia.
Croatan, or however you say that. Croatan. Where they can't, where they left, they had a colony in Roanoke, Virginia. You've never heard this story?
No.
Like
They
all
had
the
a
people
colony in Roanoke, Virginia, and they sent out for supplies. They sent 2 ships. They were gone for like 6 to 8 months,
Yeah.
like it takes to get from Roanoke to England and back. And they came back. Nothing was destroyed. Every single living being was gone. And on one of the trees in the middle of the city was Croatan, like carved into it. And there's been like 150 separate conspiracy myths about it, about like literally where like a disease plagued them into insanity and they were all lost. Like they all ran into the sea and killed themselves. There's like where gods and different beings of like that were in America at that time like came in and destroyed them, where like just raiding parties where like they literally like poisoned some of their food to where they were like passed out and then removed, like Native Americans removed their bodies, just different stuff. There's actually a Batman Spawn comic book that actually like has like a basis around like a demon that comes in and
I
destroys.
hope some fucking Native American witch doctor put a spell on those fuckers, let them all into the water to drown.
Whatever part of your heritage is probably from that colony.
What
Probably.
what's the most sparsely populated state? Is it Montana?
Yeah.
Or one of the Dakotas?
Probably.
No, it's Montana. Because
Montana's huge.
Montana is the size of North Dakota, South Dakota, Oklahoma, and a little bit of Idaho.
Yeah. It's fucking massive.
The Syrian folk like trees?
It
You
doesn't
think
matter.
Montana doesn't have trees?
It doesn't matter what they like. They will. I'm sure they will go wherever they can be taken to. It's a matter of you have to actually have like designated space and things like that. Like, which is I'm sure could be easily available. It's not like these people want to come here and not do anything. And people seem to have this idea that they're like gonna come here and be like PTSD victims and crap and just like
Watch
feed off
Netflix all
of
day.
it. Yeah, like Netflix and chill, yo. No, they're probably significantly harder working than any American that you know. So you should probably stop being shitty.
Obviously, there's going to be a language barrier. There's going to be a culture barrier. There's going to be different jobs.
Not as much as you think, though.
There's already that though. I
Yeah.
mean, this is fucking America. That's the part that pisses me off. They're not American. What? America is a melting pot of just people. Have you ever been to New York City? If you haven't, I suggest that you go to New York City and you just start walking around, because within a 1 block span, one New York City block, by the way, you will hear at least 5 different languages being spoken.
You'll find one of everybody.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Ride the train for an hour.
Like that is America. That is where we live. And if you can't accept somebody because they speak a different language, whatever. Well, you know what?
This fucking country was founded upon that. That was the whole idea. Like I said, I've not worked out the logistics. I don't know. I feel like there's got to be an easier solution than across the Atlantic Ocean.
Okay, but you brought up Canada, which is across the Atlantic Ocean.
And I'm saying if it has to be in North America, I feel like Canada's a much better candidate. I mean, it's a harder target. They don't, people don't already have a problem with Canada. I feel like they've got more space.
I have a real person.
I got a real problem.
I got a real problem and a real question right now. Is there any way for me on Facebook to figure out what I've commented on in the past 5 days?
Yes.
Okay, how do I do that?
Post commented on. No, you can. You can search that up in the top. You can do post commented on by me.
In the search bar?
Yeah.
That's new.
It's not new. That's how you. We call that a trap.
Yeah. Activity log will show you everything you've liked and commented.
If I thought that you were being like real sketchy or whatever, I could go photos liked by Brandon Mertz, and I could look at all the photos you've ever liked. It's super creepy and incredibly invasive, but anybody out there who didn't know this already, if you think your significant other is being shady with another human being on Facebook, there you go. Sorry, side chicks. Just ruined your game.
Yeah, that's how we'll keep track of all the Syrian refugees.
Facebook.
We'll make them all Facebook profiles. That'll solve everything.
Give everybody a Facebook and Instagram. You gotta post a picture a day.
Shit, we could. How many Syrian refugees do you think we could send to fucking Mumbai?
What's Mumbai? Sounds like food. I'm hungry.
Right? It does kind of sound like food.
They built that area. They made the tallest building in the entire world. Nobody lives in it.
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, it's a huge target and all, but hell, they could live on the island in the world island that is located where Syria should be.
I'm done talking about this.
Yeah, we've exhausted it. I still need to eat dinner. We're at 3.5 hours.
Yeah, I think we should call it a day.
Let's cut this, and we're hoping to get the
hoping to have Eternal Void on next week.
Good old Eternal Boys. That's what I call them.
Eternal Boys.
No one cares what you call them.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We'll be talking about Alice in Chains and Stone Temple Pilots with people that know who they are.
Yeah. Go to a show. Don't be a dickhead.
Don't be a dickhead.
Don't be a dickhead on the internet.
Hey,
either.
Brandon, don't be a dickhead.
Yeah, fuck yourself.
Don't be if Brandon.
I value your opinion, but not when it.
If Brandon can be this accepting about people, you all should be this accepting for people. Yay, people.
Yay, people.
And just
fuck white people. Bye.
And just keep in mind that just because we let other people live here doesn't mean they're going to try to overthrow our government.
Dude, I'm trying to overthrow our government right fucking now.
And don't be a chotch bag. I'm out.
Don't be an art girl or art fag. Or
Yeah. Anyway. Q's telling me to tell you not to be an art fag. Angry Old Dudes, episode 18. See ya.